home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
They got him again!
Sixers.
Bang! It's good! Ball game!
And Flyers.
Tipped in front of the net!
97.3 ESPN. WENJ. WENJ HD. Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Well, happy opening day, everybody, and we are live at the Anchorage in Summers Point. We've got the smell of mulch. That means it's opening day. I walked in from the parking lot at the Anchorage into our broadcast location, and I got a great old smell of mulch, and that tells me it's opening day. We are live on location, and we are getting ready to give away a trip to the Phillies Orioles game at Camden Yards in Baltimore, so stop on out. We also got many other tickets, so if you're hanging out at the bar today and you were not able to enter for the trip to Baltimore, you can still win tickets to go see a variety of other shows. We've got tickets to see Guns N' Roses, the Zac Brown Band, Bret Michaels will be at Caesars, so we got concert tickets that we're going to be giving away throughout the show as well. When you get here and you entered for the trip to Baltimore, stop on up front. We've got intern Vince is working the drum up front. You just sign in with him, and he will put your name in the drum. And then later on in the show, we will draw the winner for the trip to Baltimore. And that winner, it includes a pair of tickets to go see the Phillies play the Orioles at Camden Yards. It includes a round-trip transportation. You'll get fed, and the whole day will be great. It's at July 31st at Camden Yards in Baltimore. All right, the Sports Bash is live. Pete G is my on-site producer today.
Hello, sir.
Nick Earnshaw is here for the Nuggets live, and Josh Henning is back in the Ocean Casino Resort Studios. I can tell you this right off the bat. They got some great opening day specials for the Phillies game. $4.15 first pitch. They have $3 Bud Lights. I mean, $3 beers in 2026. I feel like I'm in college again.
In this economy?
Right,
oh,
exactly.
Awesome.
They got $5 neutral cans. That would be more for you, Pete, right?
That's right.
He's on that side. We've got the Fanatic Orange Crush for just $10.
That looks good.
They've got the Schwarber, which is Prosecco, peach schnapps, and pineapple. That is a great-sounding drink. And you went Powder Blue Schwarber
Powder
today.
Blue. You know, I bought this as soon as he re-signed. That was my first purchase. I said, he's going to be here for another 5 years.
Now,
that was my purchase.
They took a shot here. Where's Mike at? He took a shot with this drink. He called it the Bohm. I don't know, man. that might not be a popular drink on the menu today. The Bohm. That is little Tito's, lime juice, simple, grenadine, and a little ginger.
That might have to
but
be
that
the
was
full
my
drink.
I'm the Bohm guy, so I'm going to go with the Bohm. And then if you're looking for a little mocktail, you can go with the Harper, a little strawberry puree, lemonade, and mint. So there you go. I do like the drink specials. And then they got food specials for Phillies opening day. They've got all sorts of like stadium stuff here. The Smash Burger, that's a $7 burger. I mean, I think I should have had a conversation on these prices. $7 a little too cheap for the burger in today's world, don't you think?
It's opening day. You got to have a good time.
You got Texas Tommy
helping us out.
dogs. You got a Texas Tommy dog. You got the Schmitter. You got the chili cheese dog. You got the classic hot dog. You got the smash burger. You got the double smash burger.
Oh, that's a Justin Crawford burger for me. I'm going with a double from Justin Crawford today.
All right, well, that's what some of the specials are here. So we got the trip. We got tickets. We got the game. The Mets are losing. No, they were losing. Now they're winning.
Skeens got pulled in the first inning.
Paul Skeens was up 2-0. And then I said, this game is over.
Yep.
It's 2-0 Pirates to start the game. I said, this game is over. Looked back up, and Skeens was getting the old hook.
Can I say you
What's
jinxed
his ERA now?
What was it?
Can I say you jinxed
No,
it?
what was the ERA?
Oh, 67.
67.
That's going to be rough for the Cy Young race coming down the stretch. He's got to get that thing down.
Well, it is Phillies opening day, so throughout the day, we've got a whole bunch of questions and predictions. If you look at our game win predictions, they're at Mike Gill Show on the Twitter X platform. Our whole staff, everybody put their win predictions in. We'll read those off throughout. We got live nuggets today. We've got over-unders from not Palm Beach Pete, but not
Clearwater PG.
Wow, Clearwater Pete.
Yep.
All right. And then I got a bunch of other Philly stuff we're going to be mixing in throughout the show today. I do have to talk about the Sixers game last night, though. Was this the Undertaker meme where he comes out of the casket and just revives himself? I mean, the season was on life support. Yesterday, we asked people, and the Sixers came in 2 days ago. We asked people about the Sixers. They came in dead last in terms of what are you focused in on. The Sixers, mind you, are in the playoffs. They are going to play in the playoffs. Whether it's a play-in game or a playoff game, they will have some sort of post-regular season game. And the people were more interested in a Flyers team that is essentially out of it.
Yeah,
and
I can't understand it.
And then last night, the old man dusted it off after a 13-game absence. And in the first quarter of the game, Joel, Hans, Embiid.
The process.
With a 15 spot as if he hadn't missed one night. It was as if he didn't miss a game.
Can I tell you, he looked real spry last night in that first quarter. Real spry.
Now, what was your thing, though, with Harper hitting that home run in the WBC against a tomato can? The Bulls, they are tanking. They are tomato cans.
They scored the most points since
fair.
1970 in a game last night to 76.
I was waiting for 160.
157 burger, PG.
I know.
Well,
PG looked good.
Okay, you are fair to say that the Bulls are in the quote-unquote – now, they're not mathematically even eliminated from the playoffs yet.
No, but
yeah,
they are tanking.
They are tanking. You are right. And I'm not going to disagree with you there. But
and Andres Machado is a tomato can.
Yeah.
That Harper hit that home run.
Remember, the Bulls have beaten the Sixers multiple times this year. That was the first win the Sixers had against the Bulls.
All right, well, I'm not going to disagree with you on this, Pete, but I will say, Embiid, and he said it after the game, he said the problems with his knee, he has no problems with his knee. That I thought was the story of the night.
Absolutely.
He comes out and actually volunteers. I have no problem. The knee stuff, they're all behind me. So, let me ask you this. If Joel is saying that his knee problems are behind him, that he has no problems with his knees, he is now knee healthy. In other words, that sounds like to me, I can play. I can play back-to-backs. Last night, he hadn't played in 13 games and was out there and played like no problem, like there was nothing wrong. If he's saying there's nothing wrong with the knees, now he did say that the oblique is not back 100% really, but he is kind of like, I figured out a way to kind of deal with it. But isn't the knee the thing that we're most worried about, concerned about? If he's saying I have no problems with the knee, and he played like the guy that you saw last night, did anybody out there watch that game? I'm sure a lot of people didn't even pay attention to the game. But did anybody watch that game and say, where'd this guy come from? And then you got Paul George, who comes out and dusts himself off after 25 games, and he scores 28.
Can I tell you this is the perfect scenario for the Sixers? This is outstanding. You got 13 games off for Joel Embiid. He looked spry last night. Paul George, blessing in disguise. He even acknowledged that this might have been a good thing for him because he's not getting hurt. He got to rest up, and now they have 10 games to go to get to the postseason. I mean, what more can you ask for? This is what I've been saying for years.
Well,
get them healthy to the postseason and then go for it.
That's what everybody has kind of said. How can they get to the playoffs healthy, right? How can they get to the playoffs healthy? This was an unconventional way to get them there. Now, there's still 9 games left, right, that
anything can happen.
Joel can, trip and fall. But if those two guys played the way they did last night and can ramp themselves up over the next 9 games and get to the playoffs, where Joel is saying, my knee is not a problem anymore. Those problems are behind me. And here is Paul George, who said, you know what? I was not 100% when I came back, Now those 25 games off, now I feel like a whole different guy. Mind you, we talk and mock these NBA guys all the time. They're load managing, all this stuff. Well, these guys have only played 30 games. So they've load managed more than anybody this season. And listen, it was only one game last night. And you're right, it was against a team that is tanking.
Yeah.
But to see Joel dust himself off after sitting out, the last time he played a game was February 26th. The Phillies hadn't started spring training yet. Was the last time the Phillies that Joel played in an actual game. And Paul George had missed 25 straight games because of the suspension. And you would not have known either one. Now, Paul got off to a slow start. He didn't score in the first quarter last night. But Joel had 15 points in the first quarter last night.
VJ looked pretty good, too.
Edgecombe has come along as of late. He looks fantastic because he's gotten a lot more minutes with all these guys being out. Remember, you're still going to get Tyrese Maxey back. I'm just saying, for a cursed franchise like this is the perfect scenario for them. Get those guys healthy, ramp them up right before the postseason. They're one game out of that 6th spot. I mean, hey,
well,
are you worried about a
what did Kevin Garnett
though?
say?
Are you worried about
Of course,
Embiid
it's the
playing
Sixers.
too much, too soon, too fast?
No. Not too much, too soon, too fast.
No?
This was
you got to play.
scenario.
You got to go play.
Yeah, just go play. This perfect scenario. You got 9 games to go. This is what you wanted to happen. You got your guys ready into the postseason. This is all you can ask for. If they get hurt, they get hurt. They're just cursed at that point.
You're absolutely right. This is the best-case scenario that they could ask for. We got 10 games left to go play with these two guys as healthy as they're going to be. Joel, from his lips to God's ears, the fact that he said the knee problems are behind me.
Huge.
That is the biggest revelation that you can go for. By the way, you said they're a game out. They're only a half a game out behind the Raptors for the 6th spot.
Because Atlanta won last
one
night.
game behind Atlanta for the 5 seed. So they are actually one. Now, Atlanta was on the ropes last night, and they come back and beat Detroit.
Somehow won, yeah.
And that, if that didn't happen, Philadelphia actually would have been out of the play and would have moved up. But that being said, you got 2 big games this weekend. Charlotte Saturday, Miami on Monday. And those are the 2 big things there. So, number 1, Joel says the knee problems are behind him. If that's the case, and he plays like he did last night, that was one of the best games, the healthiest, the spry, that you've seen Joel play in like 3 years.
Yeah.
Really since the MVP year. Actually,
Correct.
no. When he got hurt, the year that he was playing really, really well, and then he got hurt. That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Last year it was a nothing burger. Last night he looked really healthy. He came out of the gate, and there was people criticizing him for the oblique injury. I don't care. Let that guy sit for as long as possible. You have that guy looking like he was last night for round 1 and round 2 and hopefully a round 3.
My buddy texted me
Come
last
on.
night, and my buddy's a hater, just to put that out
There's
there.
tons of them.
He said,
Fine.
and he said to me,
Haters going to hate.
yeah, he said, last night was the healthiest I've seen Joel in 2 years. The play that really made me realize is the dunk over Giddey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? He said, I believe the same thing happened earlier in the season with him, and he would not have been able to make that dunk.
And that was 3rd quarter where they've really struggled.
He said, and his passes were on point. He didn't look. He made a pass to VJ in the corner.
Ridiculous.
It was unbelievable. Now, I'm not suggesting anybody should be printing second-round tickets right now. But my point is this. I definitely think you can at least have some sort of excitement of, okay, now I have a little bit of care that if you get the right matchup, because a Sixers-Knicks first-round matchup sure sounds good to me, everybody. How about you?
And if it's the New York Knicks, that would make me ecstatic. I would want to play those guys 100 times over, especially after the last time.
I do not want to play those guys.
Oh,
rather
come on,
Cleveland?
Pete.
I do not want to play the Knicks.
You don't want a rematch?
Not yet. Not in the first
Here's
round.
your 4 options. Detroit, Boston, New York, Cleveland.
James Harden would be nice.
That'd be
Final
fun.
Matchup,
That'd be a
James
fun
Harden
one.
against Maxey
Sure.
and Mitchell.
Cleveland kind of has been a bad matchup for you this year.
I would want the Knicks. I think they match up better against the
Me
Knicks.
too.
They had success in the
Me
Garden
too.
earlier this year. I was
I
there,
just-
Pete.
I don't
saw
like
it
those
with my
They
own
was
Villanova-
in
eyes.
the cheap seats.
I don't like those Villanova guys, man. Those guys scare me. They always hit big shots against Philly, those Villanova guys.
After last night's game, how far does a healthy Sixers squad go? Vote at 973 ESPN. Right now, the votes are coming in. And, wow, I am shocked at the leader in the clubhouse right now. Shocked at the leader in the clubhouse right now. 609-403-0973. That's the text board. You can hit us up on the White Horse RV text board throughout the show.
And, by and large, they did a pretty good job without Embiid, without Maxey, without Oubre, without PG. I mean, they're missing all these guys, and they kind of just treaded water.
They went 13-12. They went 13-12.
That's pretty good, man.
In
That's
the
all you can
25
ask for.
games without Paul George.
You're missing
and of
5
course,
guys.
And of course, in the 25 games you missed Paul George, you also didn't have Embiid for 13 of those games.
Yeah, you're playing Demon Campaign for 30 minutes a game, and Drummond.
You stayed afloat, Pete. That was the whole point of this whole entire situation. Stay afloat.
Hey, listen, the fact that, and I said they got no shot at making the playoffs now, meaning they were going to be a play-in team. I can't believe they hung around, stayed afloat long enough to now be able to get out of the play-in situation and get themselves all the way up to the 5 seed is a real possibility.
Oh, it's definitely a real possibility. If the way they played last night, you're going to get Tyrese Maxey back. Them at full strength. I believe it was Danny Green and multiple other ESPN personalities have talked about the Sixers being a dangerous team, like a team you don't want to play in the postseason.
Well, you're going to hear a lot of that, right? You're going to hear a lot of that where all of these pundits are now going to say, well, that's the team you're not going to want to play because, look, you played them for half the year. They didn't have Paul George or Joel, and now you're playing them. They don't have Maxey. So it's like you play that team with those 3 guys. And Oubre, by the way, he'll be back here next week, I think, or early, maybe even this weekend. Those 4 guys, you put them back into any team right now. Any team right now, just think if Boston – now, they got Tatum back.
Sure.
But let's say if Boston was missing, Brown, Tatum, and 2 other guys,
you stay afloat.
White.
Yeah, and you stay afloat.
Yeah, if the Knicks were without Brunson, Cat,
Yep.
and 2 other guys for as long as the Sixers played without these guys, I'm not saying they wouldn't make the playoffs or they'd be complete disasters, but what team in the entire league is adding 4 players of that magnitude at this stage of the season?
Only in Philadelphia will this happen.
Yeah,
Only in Philadelphia.
And they'll get knocked out in the first round anyway.
Stop. Come on. At least we're getting there, right?
Daddy-o. All right, we're looking forward to a fun day as always. But anytime we get out on location, but specifically when we're out on location and we get the big prizes to give away, we generally have really good crowds. So if you're out there driving around today, you're in Summers Point, Mainland, EHT, Cape May County, wherever you are within the sound of our voice, we're at the Anchorage. Now, let me tell you, I already ordered French onion soup. Now, I'm a French onion soup connoisseur, and that French onion soup was outstanding. I had to have it before the show.
You did.
Before the show even went live, I said, I need the Anchorage French onion. So I had the French onion. Now, Pete, you went with a little mahi-mahi.
Yep, just came back from Clearwater on Monday. So
with that order, it sounds like you're still there.
I know. I'm still in the mood.
My last meal, I had the grouper tacos.
Wow.
Down there.
But you weren't able to hit up Bait House, one of your favorite spots.
No, it was closed for the season. Oh, no, it was closed for construction.
Oh, so being worked on down there.
What was your order today?
I got a cheesesteak. It's
you
Philadelphia.
Opening day?
Yeah, opening day.
Opening
you got
day
a cheesesteak.
No. Look, it's opening day. You're telling me you got to go hot dog.
You could go hot dog, too. I mean, they got great specials here,
too. A Texas Tommy dog. It's 2 hot dogs wrapped in bacon and cheese sauce.
Wow.
Oh, picking a blanket.
Ooh. How about a little classic dog here? 2 hot dogs, relish, diced onion on a potato roll.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, I love a spot that does a dog on Phillies opening day, but then goes the extra mile and gives you the potato roll. Not one of those cheapy, flaky rolls that break in your hand, right?
Yeah, no, you can't have that.
All right, so
I got the goosebumps. I got the opening day goosebumps, the jitters. And then tomorrow I'm going to go back to normal. Right? You get one day.
Well, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and that's why the Phillies everybody always asks, why do they do this? They play on Thursday. It's in case opening day gets rained out.
Yes, they do this every year.
Yeah, they always play Thursday, then they have a day off Friday, and then they'll play Saturday, Sunday. But you're getting a beautiful day if you're at the ballpark today.
Awesome day today.
So we got, all right, coming up, Jeff Kerr, our Phillies insider from 97.3 ESPN.com. He is at the ballpark. He's been there since like 10 o'clock this morning.
Gotta love Kerr.
And he has talked to Justin Crawford, Bryce Harper. He has news on Aiden Miller, by the way. There is all sorts of stuff that he's been doing. He's going to check in at 3 o'clock. Also, I've got our Phillies season preview questions that we're going to start rattling off throughout the show. I want to get people's thoughts on the Sixers' win last night. They put up 157 points, most since 1970.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
35 points for Joel after not playing for 13 straight games, and then 28 points for Paul George last night as he dusted himself off after a 25-game absence. Now, Paul George did say after the game he wants to play every game the rest of the way.
That means back-to-backs.
Proud of you. There's only one back-to-back left, by the way.
Well, let's see him
there
playing
is
it.
one.
Yep.
How about Joel? Will he play in the back-to-back?
I doubt it. Highly doubt it.
All right, so when we come back today, Christopher Sanchez makes the start. It's his first opening day start. Is he ready for the spotlight? We'll talk about Sanchi, Wheeler, who will start this weekend, but it won't be in Philly. We'll explain. Coming up, it's Evaldi against Sanchez. It's the Phillies. It's the Rangers. It is opening day. Hey, we're giving away a trip to see the Phillies play the Orioles at Camden Yards in Baltimore. Of course, everybody who entered, you must be present to win. Sign in right at the front. Come see Vince. He's hanging out there. He's got the Phillies red on. He's got the Phillies hat on. He'll sign you up. And everybody else, if you want to sign in, we got tickets to see Guns N' Roses, Zach Brown Band, and more. That is all live at the Anchorage, 823 Bay Avenue, Summers Point. All right, happy opening day, one and all. It's 4:15, Phillies and the Rangers. Now, I got to tell you, you said you have goosebumps.
Yep.
This nonsense playing an American League team on opening day is BS.
I agree.
You're giving me the Rangers? I got nothing with the Rangers. Give me a Phillies-Mets game, a Phillies-Braves. Last year, you at least got the Nationals. Give me something. I get the Rangers on opening day.
Awful.
Do you have a problem with opening night on Netflix last night?
It was a horrible broadcast, number one. They had all sorts of craziness happen. I tuned in a little bit, and then I said, this is brutal, and I got out of there. Baseball should be opening day. There should be no opening night.
I agree. Remember when
Yeah, I
they
agree.
started in the middle of the night? Was that last year?
Yeah, they did this,
none of that.
The Japan series, that
No.
kind of stuff. Now, I need a game at noon. Like right now. I mean, they got the Mets and Pirates on. This is what it should be. Old
Yeah.
NL East
Correct.
teams playing each other. You got Paul Skeens. That's the game you want. You got Skeens versus McLean, and Skeens got pounded today, and they had to pull him out of the game in the first inning.
2/3 of an inning, O'Neal Cruz made a mistake out there, and Joel Embiid was live tweeting it.
I like that. All right, Christopher Sanchez. Let's get into him. Is he ready for the spotlight? I mean, is it a fait accompli that Christopher Sanchez has just turned into an overnight ace? I mean, this is a guy, the Phillies traded Curtis Mead to get Christopher Sanchez. Okay?
Tampa, right?
Curtis Mead. Fact check me on that one just to make sure, okay? But yes, Tampa Bay. They trade for Christopher Sanchez.
Curtis Mead, yes, November 20th, 2019.
Who in their right mind would have ever envisioned Christopher Sanchez becoming the runner-up for the Cy Young? And now the encore is, young man, you are the ace of the staff. So with Wheeler on the injured list, Sanchez will make his first ever opening day start. Should we just assume that Sanchez will be in the top three again in the Cy Young? Is that a fair assessment, or is this like, hey, we're driving with like blinders on here? We got a guy who's never pitched opening day. Now, he had never pitched in the playoffs the number one game, and he did that last year. But is everybody on board with, oh, it's Christopher Sanchez. He's Sanchez.
Is he just going to be fine? He's just going to
Exactly.
be an ace. He's
I mean,
just going
'cause
to
he
have an
threw in
ERA under 3.
He threw in that bogus WBC tournament, got rocked.
There you go again. Bogus.
He got rocked in that tournament.
I know. Well, Aaron Nola looked good once and then looked like Aaron Nola of old.
I think you could go a step further and say Sanchez and Luzardo maybe could overtake Wheeler and Nola, obviously, but those two guys could overtake Wheeler and Nola as the top two.
I think that's what
the
the Phillies
rotation.
hope, though, right?
Yeah.
Is that eventually Wheeler and Nola kind of filter back to the, I don't know. I don't know what everybody thinks about Wheeler. I'm in the camp that I think Wheeler will come back and be in the Cy Young conversation. I'm not all that concerned about Wheeler. In fact, the fact that he's pitching Saturday tells me, he's like, guys, I'm ready to go.
Unbelievable.
I'm ready to pitch.
I thought he'd be out till June.
Yeah.
But now, he had a great spring. His recovery is ahead of schedule. He's doing a rehab start at Lehigh Valley now.
Yep. And listen, I think there's cautious optimism with Wheeler. I think he will return to form. But you look at it, right? And you made the point, Pete, of Christopher Sanchez and Jesus Luzardo kind of taking that next step and being the 1 and 2 punch for the Phillies rotation. Remember, those are the two guys that just got 2 brand new contract extensions. So the Phillies see that as well.
Well, by the way, the opening day lineup is out, and it came out about 2 hours ago, and there are no surprises. It is Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Bohm, Stott, Garcia, Marsh, Real Muto, and Justin Crawford, who will make his Major League debut today. But we're kind of focusing right now on Wheeler a little bit here. Sanchez and Wheeler. I want to ask this question for the people out there. 609-403-0973. Text us on the White Horse RV text board. At the end of the year, who will be the Phillies' ace? Will it be Sanchez or will it be Wheeler? Can Wheeler, is this the year? Now, last year he emerged and was the number 2 Cy Young. Wheeler was number 2 in the Cy Young the year before. By the way, Nola has finished second in the Cy Young balloting. That was in 2016, however. Luzardo, he was, in the conversation for a little bit. And, of course, there's Painter, kind of a dark horse there. But who at the end of the year is the guy? Because the Phillies are then going to have to decide who gets that ball in game one. Is it Sanchez or Wheeler? That, to me, is a very interesting story.
Yeah, I think you could have a 1 and 1A, right? Like with those two. If Sanchez is the same way as he was last year, dominant, yeah. I mean, you could flip a coin with who you want to start game one, depending on a matchup heading into the postseason. I think Wheeler's going to come back and be fine. That's just my estimation. Some cautious optimism there, but I think Sanchez gets the contract extension. I think you have two aces at the top right there.
40 Kid is watching on YouTube. Says, happy opening day. Let's go, Phils. He says he's taking a big game from Stott today. He's going Stott for the big game. If you're watching the show on YouTube, drop in your big game say, because I think at the end of the show, we need to put a little same game, or before the game, before 4 o'clock, we put little same game parlay
little
on.
SGP.
Yeah. We got, I can't read that far, but somebody else watching on YouTube says, I'm hoping Garcia can move up in the lineup in the next couple of weeks. I think that's another interesting story, is that Adolis Garcia, the impact that he has. Right now he's in the 6th spot, but does he make enough of an impact where they move him into that 4 hole and maybe flip him with Bohm? And that's not to say because Bohm is struggling, just because they profile differently, and Adolis Garcia probably profiles better in the 4 spot.
Right.
And Bohm probably profiles better in the 6 spot.
Well, if you're wondering why Garcia is not in the 5 spot, it would be back-to-back righties in that situation with Bohm and then Garcia. So you have Stott splitting the righties up there.
Are you surprised that Stott is in the 5 hole and not Marsh? I thought that was an interesting, because I went to the game on Friday in Clearwater, and that was the first day that they put that lineup out where it was Stott hitting 5th, and I said, that's kind of interesting. They're going Stott 5 and Marsh 7th, where last year Marsh hit 5th and Stott was hitting 9th.
Yeah, and remember, we had lots of conversation about Stott being at the bottom of the order. Remember, I said just keep him there because it was lower pressure.
Yeah,
well, and they tried the leadoff thing with Stott last season. Right?
I asked Thompson about the leadoff thing with Stott last year.
And he did it for a little while, and then he basically was a non-factor. And then late in the second half of the year, he started to come on. But that was hitting out of the 9 hole.
Yeah, and he made that little adjustment to his swing. Remember that towards the end of the year. Hopefully that's carries over into the first half of this season.
On the White Horse RV text board, Brandon in Dennisville says Adolis Garcia goes yard in his debut.
Whoa.
Sanchez with 7 strikeouts. And, of course, an opening day Schwarbomb. Give us your Phillies opening day predictions.
And Garcia did have a pretty good spring. I think meeting up with Kevin Long, we know what Kevin Long can do to some of these guys. Maybe that does rejuvenate his swing a little bit.
They've worked his swing a little bit.
I hope.
I think they're trying to get him to be a little bit more patient because, everybody's saying him and Castellanos are essentially a wash, right? I mean they're the same player. They both walk none and strike out a ton.
Just Adolis is better defensively, better than Castellanos.
And that's an interesting thing. I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and he said he thinks Casty's better than Garcia in the lineup, and I said I think it's a wash. I said, but I definitely would say Garcia is a better defensive player.
Way better.
And his point was they went to the World Series with Casty playing right field and Schwarber playing left field. Then how much does the defensive improvement really factor in?
Yeah, how much does it matter? I mean, they had Rhys Hoskins over at first base. Remember that when they went to the World Series?
2022, right? They were not a good defensive team.
Awful.
Yeah.
And we'll see how Crawford does in center field. I mean, the Phillies have not had that center field position locked down since, how many years? Who was the last guy where
I had a
that
stat.
spot was locked in?
Where?
Adubel Herrera?
In the what position?
Center field.
Oh, center field, yeah.
Where you could just pencil in that guy. You had no issues him patrolling center field. Adubel Herrera, I guess. So I'm looking for Justin Crawford.
I got a question. Joel Embiid tweeted 41 minutes ago. Cruz, get ready to learn DH,
That's what I was talking about.
Who's he talking about?
O'Neal
Cruz.
Oh.
Who made the mistake.
Oh,
That's what I said.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Live tweeting.
So he's watching the Buccos.
That's great.
So he's going to definitely be live tweeting during the Phillies game. He might even be there. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's a great tweet.
You like
get
that
ready
tweet
to learn DH. Well, he said that the guy in the outfield misplayed the ball, and
Yeah.
that's why Skeens
Yeah.
got screwed.
And they didn't. I don't think they considered it an error.
Well, no, not if he misplayed it
Yeah.
and didn't touch his glove. Like if he lost it in the sun or something.
I got to see this.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. Joel Embiid live tweeting
It's a big baseball
That is,
fan.
I mean, Skeens got shelled his first. I mean, that's the WBC hangover, maybe.
All right, let's get to
Right?
the WBC.
Here we go. Hating on the WBC again.
The running it back strategy was talked a lot about, right?
Uh-huh.
In fact, our own Frank Close has a new podcast with Tyler Zulli that you can listen to on 97.3 ESPN.com. It's called the Run It Back Podcast. But
It's a great name, by the way.
are they really running it back? You've got Justin Crawford in the lineup today. You've got Adolis
Hey.
Garcia in the lineup today. You've also got in the lineup, not in the lineup today, but in the bullpen.
He goes cream Cliff Lee. I like that.
Jeff and OC.
Jeff and
Very
OC.
clean.
Cream Cliff
Very
Lee.
clean. I'm looking forward to the jersey. I see a green Hunter Pence at the bar.
Oh, that's
He was
strong.
doing the game last
Who's
night
got
on
the
Netflix.
Pence?
Right there. I said green Hunter Pence.
Oh,
See
there
anybody
you go.
else wearing
Hunter
green in here?
Pence.
I wasn't looking.
He was
I'm
in the
looking
booth
over there.
last night on Netflix.
He was.
Oh,
yes.
Hunter Pence, my favorite players of all time.
I mean, that's a St. Patty's Day, one and only.
That is the strongest one I've seen. That is awesome.
The green Hunter Pence?
Yes.
Wow.
It's him and Chase Utley,
Now,
two favorite players.
I go violation on Pete G
Oh, yeah, I heard this already.
and on Nikki Nuggs and anybody else today that goes non-home Phillies jersey.
So you got to go pinstripes.
Yeah, it's opening day.
Got to stand out.
I
don't
think
have
you
to
can
go
go any
pinstripes.
jersey you want.
Doesn't matter. You go your favorite.
This gentleman goes City Connect.
City Connect.
Well,
you
I'm
can't
out on
go
the
to
City
that.
Connect.
Can't, now, this is the last year of the
Thank
City Connect,
God.
right?
Yes.
Well, they can't extend it, I think.
Yes,
right?
but I
There's
think
no
they
way they are.
You don't believe
They
so?
could change it up, though. They could change their City Connect.
I will say John Middleton needs some good PR, so maybe they do go away from that City Connect.
Well, no, even if people love the City Connects, they will change them anyway because that'll give you a new jersey you have to buy.
that's
yes.
true. Maybe buy some more napkins.
But
with
I will
with
say
those,
that the
funds.
City Connect
I mean,
has
if you
done
were-
well.
If you were his widow, and that's the comment that he gave.
Oh, HK's widow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's getting paid for
Yeah.
it. I mean, enough to buy some napkins, but not a player.
That is, it's just a bad.
It was
PR
the wine,
messaging.
man. He had a couple of pops.
You think it was the wine talking?
Yeah, I mean, that thing was swinging back
That
and
really
forth.
was swinging.
Well, so if the game today, if you remember last year, we were doing this show. It was opening day. We had a great crowd.
Yep.
And in comes Jordan Romano to ruin the day.
Yeah.
Today, in the same situation, we get Johan Duran.
Little entrance today?
So are they really
think so.
running it back? Yeah, the entrance. You paying for that entrance?
Oh, God.
Will he get? Will he break that record? Maybe I will on that record-breaking.
That's the question,
appearance.
okay?
I think he will.
The single save number is 45. The single season number is 45 for the Phillies. Will Johan Duran go over or under 45?
Over.
Yeah, I'm going to go over.
If that's the case, they're going to win more games than they did last year.
All right. Listen, I hope so. I hope you're right. I think it'll be over, but I think they'll get into a little bit of trouble because the offense will slump.
Okay.
That's why I stick at 93.
All right, well, listen, the offense is what it is, but it's still one of the best offenses in baseball. Whether you like them in October, that's a different story. Whether you like them in, from April to September, I think is a completely different conversation.
Now, there were people that say under 89 wins, I was seeing on social media.
Well, the number from all the books is 89.5.
Yeah.
And it almost seems like it's too easy, right?
It's got to be over.
And the Mets number is 90.5, so it's only one game difference with what the Mets did this offseason.
The Mets just did the anti-Phillies. They basically said, we've had Alonso here and Nimmo here for we just got to get two new. Like, if the Phillies just said, if the Phillies didn't bring back Schwarber and JT, but brought in Bichette and who else was the Mets' big offseason guy? The Robert.
yeah.
Yeah. Then they added
Luis
Polanco
Robert, yep.
and
They
sent
traded
in-
for him.
And Polanco, yes.
But they added Peralta.
If the Phillies let Schwarber go and Real Muto go, but got Bichette, Polanco, Peralta, and Luis
Yeah,
Robert.
the Mets let Alonso go, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They let, and the Phillies, so if they let Schwarber go, the Mets let Alonso go, and they let JT go, and they let Nimmo go, like almost like would you be happy if the Phillies did what the Mets did? And that's what the Mets did, and now the Mets are the favorites.
But they still have the fallback of Lindor and Soto.
Yes.
Right?
Well, the Phillies have the fallback of Turner and Harper.
Right.
True, but you wanted to re-sign Schwarber. You had to re-sign him. There was
just saying.
No
Mets,
fans or buts.
If you were a Met fan and you said, "How the hell did you let Alonso go?" and their answer is, "We haven't won anything with Alonso. We have to do something different." The Phillies fans have been asking for a different lineup. The only way to get a different lineup was...
Well, remember, they were in on Bichette, and the Mets swooped in there because of the whole thing that happened with the Dodgers and Tucker and all the money being poured into these players. So they were in on Bichette, and JT wasn't going to come back. Remember that. We forget that. Like, JT was not going to sign here. He was pretty much as good as gone if they were going to bring Bichette in, but the Mets swooped in, offered him a better contract, and now Bichette's in New York.
609-403-0973 on the White Horse RV text board. We do have the poll question up. Let's read off the poll question for the people. It's a Sixers question, but we will get everybody involved on our Phillies talk as well. After last night's 157-point explosion, how far does a healthy Sixers squad go? Your choices are simple. First round exit, second round ceiling, Eastern Conference Finals, or they're going to the NBA Finals. You might be shocked at the result of this one, by the way. Vote now at Mike Gill Show. Vote at Mike Gill Show at 973 ESPN on the Twitter X platform, and we will read off the results. We have our first results coming in on those ones, our Salem County results.
Wow.
No.
Right. The precinct is Salem County today.
Any hanging chads?
I will tell you, the leader right now is at about 40%. Actually, just took a big jump as I just hit. But it was down lower. We'll go back. Don't forget, we're live here in 823 Bay. Classic hot dog, chili cheese dog, Texas Tommy dog, Schmitter, double smash burger, a smash burger, plus $3 Bud Light, $5 neutral cans, Fanatic Orange Crushes, a Bohm, a Schwarber, and a Harper. They're all on the menu today. More Sports Bash coming up. We'll update the poll question next on the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN. All right, welcome back. Sports Bash Live, the Anchorage, Summers Point. I see a lot of red, right? Starting to see more red out here, although we got a powder blue to my left, a powder blue to my right. Got a Phillies Connect in front of me. I got a Phillies St. Patty's Day Hunter Pence in the house. I did see a powder blue Schwarber walk in. Where'd that guy go? I got a Blue Claws over there.
That is
that's
strong.
a good one.
That is awesome.
Little Blue Claws. Good Phillies gear, everybody. Intern Vince got a nice polo, blue.
It's a
Phillies
nice, it's
polo.
strong polo.
Strong polo.
He's got the All-Star Game patch on his hat.
I like that.
That's a nice patch right there.
I went
Need
with a Phillies just red hood. It's like
Easy
a
enough.
nice light hood.
I think
like
the jerseys are going to have the All-Star patch too this season.
Yeah.
Yep.
I heard they put an all-star patch where the clock used to be.
Yeah, and it's never going to be returned.
Yes, people are fake outraged about that one.
Never
Poll
gonna
question.
return.
Poll question. Here we go. After last night's Sixers win, how far does a healthy Sixers squad go? Right now, 38% is the leader. 32% is in second place. 16% is in third, and then 13% is in fourth. Josh, what do you got?
You mean like what was my vote?
What do you think is winning right now?
I mean, my
You
working
got
assumption.
first round exit, second round ceiling, Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals.
I would assume first round exit, but I
Is
could
the
probably
leader.
wrong. Either that or first or second round.
Well, first round exit is 32%. That is not the leader. Right now, the leader at 38%. Looks like people bought into Embiid and Paul George
let's
last
go.
night.
Against the tanking Chicago Bulls.
38% right now are saying the Sixers will advance to the Eastern Conference
I love it.
Finals.
And Bryce Harper is elite now. because
I
of that
love
home
it.
run.
You know what happens if they get to the Eastern Conference Finals? Schweim owes me a steak dinner.
Wow.
Wow.
It's a big dinner.
He said that on
You
the
know,
air last week.
I owe Schwein a dinner.
For
And
what?
I lost a bet to him a couple of years ago about. I think it
You
had.
got to pay up on that one, man.
I've offered it to him like for 5 years.
Oh, nothing.
Nothing. I said, all right, well, I'll take you out whenever you want. Where you want to go,
I'll
take
make
you.
sure if that
Take
happens.
him to Mendy's.
Get a bowl of soup.
Is that the dinner? This is the meal.
Yes.
This is the meal.
Keep voting at 973ESPN on Twitter X, at 973ESPN. Clark checks in on the Twitter and says, if this team is healthy, go into the playoffs, they're dangerous, and I would not want to play them in the first
How about
round.
that?
That's from Clark Burns. Mr. Burns. All right, next hour, Jeff Kerr is at the ballpark. We're going to check in to Citizens Bank Park with our own Jeff Kerr from 97.3 ESPN.com as he is live at Citizens Bank Park with all of the latest updates and news. Christopher Sanchez gets to start today. The lineup looks very similar. Anything changing between now and the top, we'll let you know right here on the Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. And don't forget, you can watch the show live on the 97.3 ESPN YouTube channel. All right, hour 2 of the show. We're live at the Anchorage. We got some more Phillies gear walking in. I love it. Opening day Phillies gear.
Alec Bohm.
Is that a Bomer?
Yeah.
I like that. That is a little powder blue Bomer.
Powder blue.
I saw 28, and it's like a it has the Phillies patch on the side here.
Nice.
So I thought it was a Kruk.
Stitch.
Kruk was 29, right?
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Coming up, we're live at the ballpark. Jeff Kerr is in the house from 97.3 ESPN.com, and he's going to join us with an update on the Phils as they get ready to take on the Texas Rangers today. It is Sanchez and Eovaldi getting the start today for the two teams. And, of course, it is opening day, which means we have a whole bunch of stuff still planned for you throughout the day, including someone is winning a trip to go see the Phillies play the Orioles at Camden Yards, and that trip will be July 31st. You will get a pair of tickets to the game. You will get round-trip transportation, and that will be given out today later on in the show. When you get here, make sure you check in. Vince is in the front of the building here at the Anchorage. He will sign you in, and then later on we will announce who that winner is. And we've got other tickets to give away. But right now, let's go to Citizens Bank Park. We check in with Jeff Kerr from 97.3 ESPN, the Phillies Fastball Podcast. He joins us right now on the Sports Best. Jeff, I saw you got there nice and early today, man. What time did you roll in to CBP?
Let's see, Mike. I rolled in, I think it was around 11:15. Wanted to make sure I got to see Justin Crawford walking his bare feet on the field.
Well, let's talk about him first, right? He's hitting ninth today. He's making his major league debut. I really think, is this a bigger story, or is it not being talked about as much as it should be, the impact that Crawford could have? This is a guy who hit over 330, hit lefties, had a tremendous on-base percentage, and has been touted as one of the top prospects, yet he's hitting ninth. And I don't know that a lot of Philly fans know what to expect from him.
Yeah, you know what, Mike? It's funny. So I was talking to his old manager in Lehigh Valley yesterday, Anthony Contreras, and he was telling me that he's been working with Crawford for the last year and a half. And the light all of a sudden just went on for him in terms of his knowledge of Major League pitching when he had that double off to Reese Skubal last week. And he said, look, he's ready to go. Like, he's his biggest improvement was defense over the past year. And he's been working with Eric Davis. He's been working with his dad. He's been, just constantly trying to be a major league center fielder. We already know he can hit. I was told that's his superpower. But this is the one, like, he needed to prove he could be a major league defender. And he's gotten significantly better at that over the last 2 years. It should be more exciting to see Justin Crawford, the youngest center fielder to play for the Phillies, the star on opening day for the Phillies in since 1968. That's insane to me. He's not getting talked about enough. I agree with Bill.
Yeah, so, what are the expectations? If I say he's going to hit, 280? Is that too high? 290? Is that too high? 260? Is that too low? What kind of anticipation, Jeff, do you have for him this year?
You know what? I would say 270, 280 is more than fair. I think he's going to get his fair share of hits. Look, he's had an 800 OPS in every level of the minors. If he had an 800 OPS for this team this year, that'd be great, because you're not going to see a lot of power out of him. But, like Rob Thompson said today, hopefully Justin does this thing and gets on base and sets up Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper. That's why he's batting ninth. You want his speed on the base pass. Like, this is a kid that could steal 40 or 50 bases this year. He's really good at that, but really his best thing is getting singles. And the Phillies need more singles hitters in this lineup, and Justin Crawford fits that bill.
Well, tell everybody, Jeff, if he gets a single, the ability for him to steal bases, this is a guy who has really good speed. Is he going to show that speed at the big league level? Will that be a difference maker for Philadelphia?
I think so. And look, I think there are a lot of good base stealers on this team, even though they're an older team, right? I think Bryson Stott knows how to steal a base. We all know Trey Turner knows how to steal a base, but they really haven't had that at the bottom of the lineup. They've been focusing on the power out of the 7th spot, right? Otto Kemp got a look in the 7th spot. Brandon Marsh is getting a look in the 7th spot. And Brandon Marsh is fast too, but he's not Justin Crawford fast. And look, a lot of these young guys, the Justin Crawford, the Aiden Millers, they steal a lot of bases. The Phillies have been preaching this in the organization about getting on base and being able to go from first to second. That's what Justin Crawford's going to do for you. And look, if he can steal second today with Trey Turner's up and Trey Turner knocks him in, you already won the ballot.
Jeff Kerr's at Citizens Bank Park. Let's go from the 9-hole to the top of the lineup, Jeff. Trey Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Bohm. No changes to the top of the lineup. In the end, will we look back at this season and say, you went with the same 4 and the results weren't good enough?
You know what? For me with Bryce Harper, I thought maybe there'd be a chance he gets second. And I think Rob will play with the lineup as the season goes on. Remember, this is just game 1 of 162, right? But I think it's the lineup they're comfortable with, that they want Trey Turner batting leadoff. I mean, he was the NL batting champion last year. Kyle Schwarber was a beast in the 2-hole. He had 950 OPS out of the 2-hole last year. Hit 37 home runs out of the 2-hole. Bryce Harper, he's been batting third pretty much since he's gotten here. So, and look, Bryce Harper says, hey, you can put me in the lineup wherever. I'm fine with it. But I think this is where they want to be comfortable with. And Rob said he wants to break up the righties and the lefties after Schwarber and Harper. So that's why you got Bohm, and then that's why you got Bryson Stott hitting fifth, Adolis Garcia, et cetera. They just want to break that up against a very tough pitcher like Nathan Eovaldi. But look, at the end of the day, it's Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, and Trey Turner. They're the 3. If they want to win the World Series, they're the 3 that have to hit in the postseason.
Well, I want to get your take on Bohm then. Bohm is not the most popular guy, obviously, and I don't know if it's fair. I mean, a lot of people say it's not fair that he gets the criticism. He doesn't ask to hit in the 4-hole. They have to hit him there because they don't have anybody else. But what kind of season – Bohm is a free agent. What kind of season do you see Bohm having? Because if he has a big year, that puts the Phillies in a really tough spot on whether they want to bring him back or not.
I agree. And you all know with Aiden Miller's back right now, right? I'm hearing it's probably going to be longer than expected for him to come back. So what's going to be the scenario for Aiden Miller going forward? Will his back be healed in time by 2027? I'm assuming that's the case, but will we get enough at bats and Lehigh to justify them throwing him out here? It's not like Justin Crawford where he accomplished everything at every level of the minors yet. So look, if Alec Bohm has his year like he did in 24, you're going to have to make a decision here because that's 2 out of 3 years where Alec Bohm has played at an all-star level and been an all-star level third baseman. You're going to have a decision to make. Do you want to pay Alec Bohm or not? And
yep.
I don't know. I get that vibe. It's his last year, but that's up to him. I honestly think he's trying out for 30 teams right now, not just the Phillies.
Well, and it's funny. Ruben Amaro on the Phillies Show podcast, he predicted that Alec will finish in the top 5 in the MVP, and the numbers he gave, Jeff, were 300, 20 homers, and 110 RBIs. To which I'm like, I don't know about that. I didn't realize he did hit 20 homers a couple of years ago, so that number's not outrageous. He's hit 97 RBIs twice in his career. Can he hit another 13 RBI? Now, he had hit 287 last year, which I was pretty surprised by because we all know he got off such a horrible start. But are those numbers outrageous for Bohm? Are they unattainable?
I don't think they're far-fetched. I mean, he's been close to 300 a couple of times. And like you said, Mike, he's had 97 RBIs twice. And he's going to drive in runs because he's Alec Bohm, right? He's going to get opportunities out of the cleanup spot. That's why he's batting 4th. They're banking on Kyle Schwarber being on base or Bryce Harper being on base or, being in scoring position. And Alec Bohm's there to clean up. Remember, this is what he did the first half of 24, and he was the reason why the Phillies were basically 30 games over 500 at the end of May because he was playing that well. If the Phillies can get just a consistent run producer, Alec Bohm, they're going to win 95 games again. That's just the reality of it.
Listen, if Bohm can have numbers like he's had a couple of years ago when he was, he got off to that great start at 97 ribbies, you're right. I mean, because he had off to a terrible start last year, and they were winning kind of despite of him. He came on late, but he only ended up with 12 home runs in the season last year. They're going to need more from him. The other guy is Adolis Garcia. He's hitting 6 today. And many people don't look at this signing with a lot of anticipation, not a lot of excitement, should they?
Yeah, I think people were just so bummed about right fielder, the outfielder over the last couple of years. They don't realize Adolis Garcia is actually an upgrade over Nick Castellanos because he can play right field. And he's a very good defensive right fielder. And he's going to be the everyday right fielder. You're only paying this guy $10 million. And look, I was looking at Baseball Savant like the other week, Mike, and they project like how many home runs you would hit in a season based on the ballpark you're in, right? He was projected to hit 37 home runs in Citizens Bank Park last year if he played the majority of his home games, if he played his home games there. Well, okay, he hit, 23 last year, Mike? Does that sound right? 23?
Garcia, yeah.
Yeah, so, look, if you can get 25 to 30 home runs out of this guy and get some serious run production in the middle of the lineup.
19, by the way. 19 last year.
Yeah, 19. So, okay, it was down. Look, I don't expect this guy to hit 250. I mean, that'd be nice if he did. But, if you get 230, 25 to 30 home runs out of him, I think that's a pretty good deal for $10 million.
Well, listen, for the $10 million you paid for Kepler last year, you didn't get all that much. Now, by the way, he hit 25 homers 2 years ago, 39 the year before that, 37, 31, 27 and 31. It was that 3-year stretch where he was one of the more feared power hitters in baseball. But can he find that? I think the ballpark's a big difference, though, Jeff. Hitting at Citizens Bank Park as opposed to Texas, that could be a big difference for him.
Yeah, I would agree, Mike. And you know what? Would it shock you if he hit a home run today?
No, it would not. And listen, I'm glad you brought that up because I contend one of the most important things for Adolis Garcia is he's a guy that feeds off energy. And he has to get off to a good start because if he doesn't and the fans start to boo him or get on him, but if he gets off to a good start, hits a couple early homers, and he starts feeding off this crowd, he could be in line for a big year.
I would agree with you. And look, I think the fan base wants something to believe in other than the running back people, right? They want to see Adolis Garcia hit the ball. They want to see Justin Crawford be this, what we've been talking about for the last 3 years, because they haven't gotten to see that. They want to see Andrew Painter have the Mike Gill expectations, as what I'm calling them now. So look, if those three can do what we think they can do, I mean, look, like you said the other day, Mike, they won 96 games last year with Aaron Nola not being there and Jose Alvarado not being around and, all the other injuries they had. If they can just stay healthy and get these guys to get this infection of youth here, how many wins are we going to think this team's going to get?
Well, let's go around and see. We asked that question, and our listeners yesterday voted. Today I asked our staff. You gave me, I believe, 92 was the number, Jeff Kerr, that you gave. Earnshaw, you said 93. PG, you also said 93. Yep. I think Josh said 93, but then because you guys said 93, he went to 95. I don't know why he wouldn't just go to 94. Frank Close, also 93. Billy Schweim went with 95, and I went with 98 wins for the Phillies. So you just asked the question, how many wins? I see 98 wins, and my reasoning, Jeff, is simple. Their bullpen is significantly better. Their bullpen was, listen, I don't think I could come up with a word that's suitable for FCC violations. Their bullpen was so bad last year. I don't think people realize how bad the bullpen was. They had Romano closing games. Then they lost Alvarado. They're closing games with Strom and Kirkering, and Tanner Banks was out there you got Duran and Keller now. Your bullpen is significantly better. I know people are down on this offense, but whether you're down on them or not, you still have to understand they're one of the top 10 offenses in baseball. So to me, the pitching staff, great. The offense is where it was a year ago. The bullpen significantly better. I got to win more games than I won last year, which was 96. I go to 98. Yeah,
and you know what, Mike? I almost want to go high, but I fear injuries, right? I always do. And, there's always a case of a player or two that isn't going to have the year we think he's going to have. And I do think this is the infusion of youth is really going to help this team. I think they'll make another second half run like they typically do. The reason why I went 92 is I always go low. Like the year they won 95 games, I think I went 90, and I thought I was a little optimistic there. And last year I thought they win maybe 91, and so I just figure I'll go one up. I do see them closer to where your thought process is, Mike, than probably mine.
Well, and let's, look a little bit about, the bullpen here, because that is the one big change, right? They've got Duran. They didn't have him last year. They've got Keller. I think the Keller signing is getting downplayed a little bit. Probably not enough attention on the Keller signing because he's a setup man, right? You don't get all that excited about guys who aren't closers or ace starters. But how big is Keller, and how much of a difference is that from what they had a year ago?
Yeah, and honestly, that's what they were missing. When they signed Keller, you knew kind of Matt Strom was on his way out the door, and you got a nice, promising player in Jonathan Bowen, who I think is going to be under the radar as well. But yeah, then you got Kirkring in the 7th, and I know Kirkring's starting on the IL. He'll be pitching in Lehigh on Saturday. But you got Keller in the 8th, and Alvarado, by the way. Oh, and then you got Johan Duran in the 9th. That is a legit bullpen. That is a bullpen where you're up 2-1 in the 8th inning. You see that guy coming in, you're like, you know what? We're going to win this game. And I think that's the team that they want to set up right now. And look, as long as this bullpen stays healthy, even not, they got a lot of depth in the majors and in Lehigh. They got a stacked bullpen. That's something we haven't been able to say for a lot of the Rob Thompson era.
Well, we talked a little bit about this yesterday, Jeff, which is I think the Phillies are telling you with what they did with the bullpen is they think their bullpen was the reason they lost that series last year. Yes, the offense didn't have a great series, but I think they trusted the offense event because, quite frankly, the Dodger offense wasn't great in the series against the Phillies. When did they perform? When they got to face the Phillies bullpen.
I would agree with you. And then, like we said, Mike, last year, outs 15-21 were the hardest for this team to get. And now they got that fixed because you can have a Ryan Kirkring in that situation. You can have Tara Banks in that situation. It's not – there's no gap, right? And you got Jonathan Bowen now. You got Kyle Backus there. Tim Mays has been a high-leverage lefty in Toronto. And look, he's like their last lefty in the bullpen. So you got a lot of numbers here that it's really going to help you, not just early in the year, but throughout the year. It's the depth on this team. And – I know everybody says get me to October. Well, look at how if these guys are healthy in October, look, it's going to be very tough to beat this team. This team is built off pitching, starting pitching and bullpen. And if they win the World Series, yes, and I said their bats need to hit, their stars need to hit. But really, if their pitching shows up like it did against the Dodgers last year, they'll probably win the series again.
Well, that's way down the road. Today we got Christopher Sanchez, and I want to get your thoughts on him. Second in the Cy Young last year. He's getting his first opening day start. Jeff, I love Sanchez. He's turned into my favorite pitcher maybe in all of baseball. I love guys who feature the changeup as their out pitch. His is maybe the best in baseball. This guy came out of nowhere, though. I mean, they got him for Curtis Mead. I don't think anybody, when they traded him, said, hey, we have a Cy Young candidate, an opening day starter, and an ace. Is this too much too fast for Christopher Sanchez, or is this who he really is now?
Yeah, not at all. And by the way, Curtis Mead was the better. But the Rays were winning that trade. They robbed the Phillies for a little bit there because Christopher Sanchez just couldn't find the strike zone. And then he threw into his body. It was funny. We were talking about that. I was talking about this in Lehigh the other day. When Christopher Sanchez was in Lehigh in 2023, Mike, he couldn't find the strike zone. He just looked completely lost. It was, why are the Phillies calling him up to spot start? Like, this guy's been terrible his last 4 or 5 outings. Like, he just looks like at best a 4A player. And he just comes out there and gives them 4 strong innings, and he never relinquished it. And he just kept building into his frame, working. It was like the light switch went on for him, and he just kept getting better. And now look at him. Like, he's one of the top 5 pitchers in baseball. I don't think you can argue that after what he's done over the last 2 years.
Hey, listen, it's an unbelievable story. And think about it. They got him. Nobody thought that he would be this guy. And by the way, they got Wheeler. They signed him. Wheeler was a solid pitcher, but I don't think anybody thought he was going to be a Cy Young candidate either. He will pitch on Saturday in Lehigh. How long do you think he will be in Lehigh before he gets up to Philadelphia?
So I was told he's going to pitch 3 innings on Saturday. It's going to be 50 pitches. They're going to build him up. He's going to get a couple starts in Lehigh. He'll probably go to Durham with Lehigh, or if not Reading if they're home. I think they want to keep him as close to home as possible. But I'm expecting a couple rehab starts here to build his arm up. And the same's going to be with Ryan Kirkring. He'll probably make about 2 or 3 rehab appearances where he comes back. But Kirkring's going to be back when it's just going to come off the IL. So that's going to be April 7th. But Wheeler, I'm expecting around mid to end of April, he'll be back.
All right, last thing before we let you go, Jeff. I know you're at the ballpark and there's things happening up there. You did tweet about Aiden Miller, the top prospect for the Phillies. You did talk about him a little earlier. You were at Lehigh yesterday for their, opening day, media day, I should say, up there. What kind of vibe are you getting about Miller's season here?
Yeah, well, he's not going to start on time. He hasn't even swung back yet. He's running. That's what I was told. He's running. Still working on that. I didn't hear any field work. I guess he is doing that, but he hasn't swung the bat yet. I don't expect Ada Miller back until I'm going to be the optimist in me says May 1st. I mean, it could be, but tricky back injuries are. You got to make sure you're healthy every day. So he's got to go through all that again. I'll be the optimistic part of me says May 1st, but something tells me it's going to be a little longer than that.
Yikes. Not good to hear that about Aiden Miller, a guy that maybe Phillies fans thought could help out some point this year. Who knows? We'll keep an eye on that. Jeff will be all over that. Of course, Jeff will be all over the Phillies, 97.3 ESPN. We have the Phillies Fastball podcast will debut this week. And, of course, anything that happens with the Phillies at Jeff Kerr PHL. He is at Citizens Bank Park. Make sure you follow him for today's Phillies Rangers game. All right, Jeff, enjoy the sights of the brand new ballpark that they have up there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Mike, we're about to start the opening day festivities here. It's my favorite time of year. Players are about to walk down the steps, come out of center field, so we're ready to go.
Nice. I love it. And Jeff Kerr will have all the coverage at Jeff Kerr PHL. Thanks, man. Jeff Kerr, everybody. And, of course, he'll be with us all season long. And subscribe to the Phillies Fastball podcast. That will be debuting this week. And we'll have plenty Philly stuff. He was at the media day yesterday for Lehigh and that Aiden Miller news. I know today's opening day, and we're supposed to be all excited, but a back injury for a young guy, not good.
Not good at this point already that he's dealing with back issues. That's going to be something to monitor throughout the entirety of the year.
All right, we are live at the Anchorage now. The place is starting to fill up a little bit here. We're starting to get a little buzz in the place, and it's still early. It's only 3:22, but I want to tell you, this 3 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Broadlee's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, your trusted source for heating, plumbing, service, and installation. For generations, call 609-390-3907 or visit online at broadlees.net. If you are signed up for the Phillies trip to Baltimore to see the Phillies play the Orioles, make sure you get in. You sign in. If you are on the list, you must sign in, and we will be announcing that winner coming up a little bit later on in the show. More Sports Bash on the way. When we come back, the NCAA Tournament Sweet 16
tonight
gets back underway tonight. We're going to tell you how to bet the action. Kelly in Vegas
So you
is
go
back.
Phillies until 7 or so, then you go right to those games.
Have to.
That's the way you do it.
Yep.
Kelly in Vegas from Splash Sports is going to tell us how to bet the games coming up next.
It's the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
And I am the voice of the voiceless.
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, it's back tonight, the Sweet 16 opening day for the Phils, and then it leads you right in to March Madness. You can listen to all the madness right here on 97.3 ESPN. Of course, tomorrow's a really big day. You got the Duke-St. John's game. You got the Michigan State-UConn game. Tonight, Texas, Purdue, Iowa, Nebraska, Arkansas, Arizona. And I don't know if I'll be awake for Illinois-Houston, but that's the one that I'm really looking forward to. I think that one's going to be so much fun. We're going to tell you how to bet these games and everything about the Sweet 16. Don't forget Elite 8 action this weekend on 97.3 ESPN. And then, of course, on Sunday, the Elite 8 will take us to next week's Final Four. Breaking it down for us right now. She was on with us at the Super Bowl. Kelly Stewart, known as Kelly in Vegas from Splash Sports, is back for the Sweet 16. What's going on, Kelly? Welcome back.
What's up, Mike? We're just going to hope that the Sweet 16 is better for me than the round of 32. Maybe we can get some outright underdogs to actually win.
I hope so. I went way too underdoggy. I took McNeese. I went Troy. I did take High Point, but, I was hoping, and now I'm sitting like dead last place. But now my bracket's done, so I want to make a couple bucks. Let's look at some of the games. Of the 4 tonight, which game, if I said you get to sit in front of only one, is the one that everybody should watch?
Well, here's the problem. The one that everybody wants to watch, you mentioned, is Houston, Illinois. It's the closest coin flip outside of Nebraska, Iowa. And I think what we're going to see here is a Houston team that was in the national championship game last night try to string together a nice set of wins to get themselves back there. The problem is I don't know if Kelvin Sampson has the coaching edge here. Big Brad Underwood fan. This Illinois team has been quietly flying under the radar all season long. I have really no big opinion here on this game, but I think it's going to be the best one by far tonight.
I agree. We're on the East Coast, so I don't know if I make that game, but Illinois-Houston, 2.5 is the number on that one. Let's start with that first one, Texas and Purdue, because Texas – listen, I was an idiot. I went to Bansa and took BYU all the way to the Final Four. They couldn't beat the play-in team. And here they are, Texas, taking on Purdue. That number 7.5, though, is this the round where Texas finally stops dancing?
I'd like to think so, but how many times can I keep betting against this Texas team and they just keep winning games they're not supposed to win? I mean, here's the real reality. I did take them versus NC State. I thought, okay, this NC State team made a little bit of noise a couple of years ago. People are going to want to back them, and that game could have went either way. Then you're right, outright underdog win over BYU. I was on BYU. I was on Gonzaga Saturday night, one of the only favorites I had in my pocket. Texas does have a couple of things that they do really well. We all know that they cannot defend the three. And if Purdue gets hot from three-point range, like we've seen them do several times this year, I think this one could be a blowout.
Oh, boy. All right. Blowout possible there. I like to hear that early because Texas ruined my whole bracket by knocking out BYU. I know. I was a sucker for DeBansa, and unfortunately he's out. This one, Iowa, Nebraska, Kelly, I think if you are in that the heartlands there, everybody wants to see this rematch. This was the one everybody wanted. And as you mentioned, kind of a coin flippy, 1.5 is the number on that one. Nebraska, first ever NCAA win last weekend. Now here they are. And Iowa, Fran McCaffrey couldn't get to this round. And here's Ben in his first year, and here he is.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, here's the real reality with this Nebraska team. They just powered through November, December, January. I thought they can't lose. Then they ran into a buzzsaw named Michigan, and they kind of started to falter a little bit in that. One of those games was to Iowa. And the reason why Iowa won that basketball game is because it was in the 50s. That is how you beat this Nebraska team. You've got to beat them down low. You've got to take the air out of the ball. And Iowa does that so well. The problem is this Nebraska team has started to pick up steam again after losing to Purdue in the Big Ten Conference tournament. They had a nice rest. They throttled Troy, who everyone was on. They throttled Vanderbilt, who everyone is on. Well, guess who everyone's on tonight? That Iowa team that just upset Florida as a double-digit underdog. I like Nebraska tonight. I laid the 1.5.
Ooh, all right. I think I'm with you on that one as well. The big win, one game, the fallout the next. Arkansas, Arizona. Arizona, the 1 seed here. Now you're in that spot where you're the one. You just saw Florida lose before you, and now you got to run in to a Calipari team, which not fun in this situation here. So it's an interesting number on this game when you take a look at the fact that Arkansas getting 8.5, though. I don't like playing a Calipari almost double-digit dog in this spot. Do you?
Gosh, I'd love to make a case for the underdog here. I really would. What I've seen from Calipari, from basically the SEC tournament on, actually basically from that Florida just killing there in Gainesville in late February. I got to see that game in person, and it was over early. Florida was a double-digit favorite in that one, and it was from start to finish a throttling. From that moment on, this Calipari-led team has done nothing but impress me. I was also on High Point. That was my lone bright spot on Saturday night. I thought they had a real shot to win that outright. They could not pull away from this Arkansas offense, and I don't want to take that away from this Razorbacks team. I have been getting destroyed on all the social media sites for sharing one of my guys over at Wager Talk's opinion on this game because he loves Arizona. And I think he has the right analysis here. This Arkansas team has shown a lot of promise. They like to play fast. They don't turn the ball over. They don't beat themselves. And if that 3 ball is falling, they can beat Arizona. The problem is this Arizona team is unlike any other Arizona team we've seen. Tommy Lloyd has this team playing great basketball. They are fast. They hit that gas pedal and they don't take it off. I don't think Arkansas is going to be able to keep up. I think ultimately Arizona is going to pull away late in this one.
All right, Kelly in Vegas is with the Splash Sports. She's going to tell you about that. And then that late game, you talked about it's going to be a great game. It's a 2.5 number. Houston, I like Illinois in this game. I got them in the Final Four. And then you watch Houston play, and you wonder, did I make the right pick there? So 2.5, Houston favored. I like I don't know if I'm betting the alumni here, but I like them a lot in this game. I like them at the start of this tournament. Now, watching 2 games, I might have changed my mind.
Yeah, it's tough. I like I said earlier, I like Brad Underwood. I really, really do. I think he has the coaching edge here. But this is a Houston team that Kelvin Sampson just absolutely reamed back in February. And I kind of like when coaches humble their teams early. And I think that ever since we saw that moment happen, this team has been playing to get back to the national championship game. Again, coin flip, I would love to see some dogs outright, but I think Houston will advance here.
All right, let's quickly look at some of the Friday stuff because there's some heavy hitters on this one. St. John's and Duke. I saw Siena here in Atlantic City for the MAC, and I said there's no way that team has a shot of hanging in with Duke. They had Duke on the ropes, and then when a lot happens, the 1 seed gets a scare, then they win in a blowout. This is a weird spot now taking on St. John's and Duke, a 6.5-point favorite over the Red Storm.
Yeah, it's interesting. I had done a show yesterday with one of my good friends, John Murray, who runs the Westgate Superbook out there in Las Vegas, and he said the public dog is going to be St. John's. And I said, of course it is. We saw Duke as a 1 seed get taken to the wire by a 16 seed. And then I see my buddy Mark Lawrence post this stat today on social media. Number 1 seeds in the Sweet 16 who won their opening round game by 10 or fewer points, 0-6 against the spread. That dates back to 1985. So no wonder everybody loves St. John's here. Who doesn't love Pitino? I think they're the more well-coached team. I hope St. John's can actually win this game outright.
I do too. I think a lot of people looking to see if St. John's can get back the magic and bring the Big East all the way to the Final Four. Speaking of the Final Four, Michigan, a lot of people have them in the Final Four, and then they will take on Alabama, a team that's been in the Final Four. But Michigan, the number 1 seed, they also a 8.5-point favorite. I got Michigan winning the whole thing. Do I got a shot with the cover here, though?
I don't know, man. It was 10 last night. I blinked. It went to 9.5. I thought, this is tough because this has shootout written all over it. I do not have the basketballs to take the under, Mike, in any form or fashion. But the contrarian me says, can Michigan's defense keep Alabama from scoring 90 points? Because that is where they're most vulnerable. If this team puts up 90 points, guess what? They have a shot to win this basketball game. When they don't, they are just 4-8 straight up and 2-10 against the spread. You have to kind of think, man, Michigan has been one of the top teams all season. I don't think they choke it here late in the Sweet 16, but that double digits, if we see a 10 again, I may have to take it with Bama.
I love it. We're talking with Kelly in Vegas, Splash Sports. And, of course, by the way, just what she's talking about, the over-under in that game, 172. The next game, 134. So you talk about two teams getting up and down, Bama, Michigan State, and UConn. This will be a rock fight. 1.5 UConn, the number on that one. I think if I could pick one game all weekend, this one might be it.
Oh, absolutely. On paper, this looks like a chess match. It looks like the basketball game that all of us who love great defense can't wait to see, right? We've got the number 9 defense, number 10 defense, and you start to kind of look at how these two are going to match up. You said rock fight, and that is true. Tom Izzo brings those rock fights to March. Love tailing him. We know how good his ATS record is. That is, of course, until you put him next to Dan Hurley, who is one of the best ATS coaches in the country. I think this is going to be such a great game. This is going to be a blue blood dominant game that everybody is excited to watch. Unfortunately, I don't think that there's going to be I think it's going to be a last possession type of game. And that, for me, means you can't bet it. So I'm staying away from it, but I can't wait to watch this one.
Okay, I like that one as well. Iowa State, Tennessee is your late one on Friday night. That's a 10-10 start, by the way, for the people out there. We're live, by the way, on location. There's like 150 people staring at me as you were getting ready to pick this one here. I don't know why, because I think this guy's got Tennessee in his bracket over here. Maybe he bet on them, but they are getting 3.5 against Iowa State. Both these teams, now Iowa State was a 2 seed. Tennessee had a fun season here. Obviously, though, they had the up and down, 24-11. Iowa State steady as they go, but is this the kind of game where the 2 seed gets knocked out in the Sweet 16?
No, I don't think so. Granted, I do have to give you guys a little asterisk. I have Iowa State 30-1 to win the whole thing. I bet back in December. Ooh. I love the Cyclones team. I think that this defense is so dialed in for March. Just watching that second half versus Kentucky, right? They lose their best player, Joshua Jefferson. That first half was a little wonky, and boom, that second half was just electric. I could not have dialed it up any better myself. And who does not love to fade Rick Barnes in March? He has been a money pit, 0-7 straight up and 2-5 against the spread against 1 or 2 seeds. I will say, however, this March, he is 2-0 against the spread. Nice win over Virginia. Obviously, the square dog there in Miami of Ohio in the very first round. I do not think this Tennessee team is as impressive as those last 2 games. I think we are going to see them falter here against an Iowa State team that does not get a lot of credit offensively because they played in the Big 12, but this team is one of the faster Big 12 teams. If they make their free throws down the stretch, I think this 3.5 will not come into play. I did lay 4 early in the week, and then they said, hey, it doesn't look like Jefferson's going to be back. I thought maybe with the late start Friday night, we may get lucky, but he was on a scooter yesterday. So keep that in mind. Still a very significant injury for the Cyclones prior to betting this one.
All right, there you go. The Sweet 16 tonight right here on 97.3 ESPN. Tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, the Elite 8. You can listen to all the action, and she gave you a nice little breakdown. Go to splashsports.com, and you guys have your Sweet 16 Survivor Sprint going on for $250K. How can the listeners get involved in that?
Well, you better get involved quick because that one is almost full. There is less than 150 spots left in that one. There is some other guaranteed money over on Splash Sports, and that's what I love. I just entered a $10 entry. Usually I'm more of a $50, $100 contest player, but I thought, wow, there's a $7,000 overlay, and I'm only playing against 353 other people. Splashsports.com/Kelly in Vegas. splashsports.com or use promo code Kelly in Vegas when you sign up. Again, tons of guaranteed money, but we only got about 3.5 hours to tip. So head over there and get involved.
Kelly in Vegas, as always here. We, by the way, they just said the Super Bowl will be back in Vegas in a couple of years. So that was announced yesterday as well. But the NCAA tournament takes over tonight. Kelly in Vegas on all the socials. Kelly, appreciate it as always.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, Kelly in Vegas, Splash Sports. Check out splashsports.com for all the matchups. You said it. We got the Phillies in about a half an hour, and then you flip right over to the Sweet 16, baby, tonight. And she gave you all the breakdowns for her. My brackets are shot, but I asked one man who's worse than me.
Who's that?
Earnshaw.
Oh, Earnshaw's worse than you in that pool?
He said he's in like 60-some plates.
Yeah, I'm not even close.
I think I was
not
in
even
46th.
Yeah.
How about you?
My Final Four is still alive.
Wow.
I did not have Florida, so I did have Houston beating Florida.
I mean, I have Michigan. I've got, I think one I have Duke, one I have St. John's. I think I have UConn maybe in that. No, I think I have UConn beating St. John's because St. John's just beat UConn in the Big East.
Right.
So I figured it would be, but my brackets are shot. By the way, tonight you can listen to the Sweet 16 on 97.3 ESPN, and if you were looking for the Flyers and the Blackhawks.
Yeah, they're still alive, man. I mean, they are begging to just get knocked
All
out
you
of
hockey
these
guys
playoffs.
are just hanging on to
They
the thread.
are still mathematically alive.
No, well, mathematically.
Yes.
Just like the Bulls are.
Yeah, right.
We're live at the Anchorage in Summers Point. By the way, the first pitch starts in about a half an hour, so you still have plenty of time. But I will tell you, if you were hoping to get yourself a bar stool, you might be out of luck. Bar is packing up right now, and we got great specials. We'll tell you more about them coming up on the Sports Bash. You got the classic. Somebody brought you a dog.
Yeah,
You got 2 dogs or
two
1?
dogs.
Wow.
You got an
I've got
Easy
a lot
Pass.
of things today.
Jeff in Ocean City brought him an Easy Pass application.
They're poking the bear.
I like that one. They got all sorts of great specials for the opening day today, including $3 Bud Light. Stop out, and if you're on the list to win the trip to Baltimore, make sure you come to the front of the Anchorage to sign in. We're giving away a trip to Baltimore to see the Phillies play the Orioles at Camden Yards. So see intern Vince. He's up front, and he'll sign you all in. All right, coming up, it is today's Unsportsmanlike Moment of the Day.
To the Sports Bash with Mike Gill
And it just keeps getting better.
on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
I really believe that there will one day be a 17-game international slate where every team during a season will have one game, whether it's in England, whether it's Germany, somewhere in Europe, or somewhere in Australia, New Zealand, Japan, some of the other sites that we've heard been rumored to be on their list because they want the global expansion that they've seen soccer have. And they're well on their way to doing it. We've seen games played on every single day of the week before during the COVID times and now in non-COVID times where a Wednesday is going to be normal. Like, you're going to have football every single day of the week at some point in the NFL.
That was Courtney Cronin on Unsportsmanlike this morning. It's our Unsportsmanlike moment of the day. She thinks that eventually we will have football every day of the week. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I feel like it's inevitable. And how can you hate football every day of the week? Wednesday's weird, but
Tuesday,
Tuesday would be
Wednesday.
weird.
Yeah, you know what?
They're opening
Give
the
it to
season
me.
this year on a Wednesday.
I know.
I'm
Give
down
it
with
to
that.
Me. Give it
Well,
to me.
one of the things she was talking about this morning is how it's kind of changing the sports calendar. What I think is interesting is how the NFL is going to slice out more like single games and make them events, like they do with the night before Thanksgiving now, Black Friday. What other like days can they make up to make another game for a Netflix or where they're trying to find ways? She said you're going to have a game. You're going to have a game that will be an international game every week. I do think that is coming. I do think that there will be a game in another country for 17 weeks because there will be a Netflix or an Amazon Prime or an Apple TV that says we'll air that game.
And I'm down with that. 9:30 kickoffs on Sunday morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
football
like it.
all day. I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Wake up and go to bed to football.
You know what I'm not cool with?
What's that? Oh,
Shaner in Egg Harbor Township's here. He bought Earnshaw 2 hot dogs plain, and Earnshaw ate them naked. Nothing on them.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
You
Now, you
had
know why he
ketchup and
bought them.
mustard
He
over
bought
there.
them for me because I don't like to eat a lot at the games. I don't want to mess. I just want to enjoy the game. Sometimes
Yeah, but you got to put a little mustard.
No, you
gotta
go
add some
nothing.
juice to that,
Nothing.
man.
Plain. Enjoy the dog.
It's a
Doesn't need it.
psychopath.
Now, I asked him about hamburgers. Same thing. Just cheese.
Just cheese.
No ketchup, no mustard, none
Nada.
of the other stuff.
Nada.
Poll questions up at Mike Gill Show. What's on your opening day hot dog? Ketchup, yellow mustard, spicy mustard, or nothing?
Nothing.
I got to find out how many psychopaths we have in the audience today. Put
We're all
nothing,
my flats people. They'll
nothing
join me.
on the hot dog. How many people are at the bar right now and have nothing on the hot dog?
That's like how a 5-year-old eats their hot
Well.
dogs. There's nothing on it.
I'm 20 years their senior.
Football at 4 is coming up next. First pitch is in about 20 minutes.
home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
They've got him. It's a sack.
Sixers.
Oh, baby.
And Flyers.
He scored!
97.3 ESPN. WENJ. WENJ HD. Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Football at 4, powered by the Inside the Birds podcast. It's brought to you by the Fanatics Sportsbook at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City. Andrew DeCecco's here on opening day. The Phillies have just been introduced, but the Eagles have introduced some new players as well. I want to get Andrew's take on how they fit in and what the plan might be after making some of those announcements earlier this week. As Andrew DeCecco from the Inside the Birds podcast and Inside the Birds joins us right now. Andrew, welcome back, bud. How are you? I know it's feeling baseball-y today, but, you know, everybody needs to know everything the Eagles do. And they made a couple interesting moves earlier this week. Love to get your take, number one, on Elijah Moore. I know this is a guy a couple of years ago studying the draft, second-round pick, had a lot of talent. The Jets took him. He bounced to the Browns, ended up having a couple nice seasons out there, ended up in Buffalo, and obviously did not make an impact. I want to see how you think a guy like Elijah Moore fits with this team. Is he a guy that you think can make an impact? Is he a camp body? Is he someone for competition?
Par for the course with how Howie Roseman approaches the offseason, leaving no stone unturned to try and better the roster or at least conjure competition at a position that really needs it beyond A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. But I wouldn't be so sure that Elijah Moore is a lock to make the roster or anything like that. He's going to have to battle with some guys. Darius Cooper, Hollywood Brown, I think, has more solid footing than Elijah Moore does. And Johnny Wilson's a player who they really like, who can do some blocking and some of the dirty work that they so sorely missed. And let's just say this. If you have four receivers, two of them beyond Devontae and AJ being Hollywood Brown and Elijah Moore, who's playing special teams? Who's returning punts, right? I mean, Hollywood Brown and Elijah Moore don't play special teams. But on the face of this signing, I do think it's a little intriguing because in a more stable situation, perhaps Elijah Moore can tap into the player that everyone believed he would be when he came out and was taken 35th overall by the Jets. He's bounced around a little bit, though. The Eagles are his fifth team, so he's going to have to pick things up quickly and try to make an early impact.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned Hollywood Brown. He's a kind of a guy that you would think makes the team. Moore, do you think he's a definitive shoo-in? Are they battling each other? How do you kind of see those two guys' opportunities to make this team?
Personally, I think Hollywood Brown is a little better of a player right now, but you also have to like the appealing aspect of Elijah Moore being 26 years old and not having a ton of wear and tear on him either. They're kind of similar. I think Hollywood Brown ideally would be the 3. That's where he projects. I like the speed to be able to stretch teams vertically and create spacing for teammates. And Elijah Moore, I view a little differently. He offers a different skill set in that the short to intermediate routes, the ability to separate over the middle. I don't necessarily view him as a downfield burner. So they both provide something different, at least in theory, to the offense. And so I think they both kind of complement each other well. And really, they didn't have a whole lot of experience behind AJ and Devontae, but prior to getting Hollywood Brown, then you bring in Elijah Moore. But beyond that, you have Johnny Wilson, who played one season, Darius Cooper, who played one season, Quez Watkins, Danny Gray, Britton Covey. And so I think that they could use all the experience they could get, at least in training camp, and see what you have.
All right, Andrew DeCecco, football 4, Elijah Moore, the wide receiver. And then a savvy move, but I'm really interested to see what you think about Fred Johnson. Obviously, there's a offensive line coach change, and Fred is a guy that, I think they got more out of him than maybe his talent suggests. He's been a steady player here, but they've looked around for a swing tackle, couldn't find anybody, so went back to Fred. Fred looked for a starting job, couldn't find one, so he comes back here. Do you think he's a fit for what they might do with this offense?
Yeah, prior to the Fred Johnson signing, I'd gone on record saying that I thought probably the most understated loss for the Eagles this offseason was Brett Toth, because he gives you value at all three interior positions, and I think that he would fit this presumed scheme even better than he did under Jeff Stoutland, and they're really youthful behind the starters. That being said, bringing back Fred Johnson, I think, was a really important thing for the Eagles to do. Now, it didn't quite work out the way Fred Johnson envisioned. He left last offseason, left in pursuit of a starting job, or at least the opportunity to challenge for a starting job. And then same thing this offseason, wasn't able to find the right pairing, the right match, and he returns to Philadelphia, where he is a really good fit and a great story of development under Jeff Stoutland. I think that is valuable in the sense that he can be the swing tackle. He started 8 games last season, played a career-high 626 snaps. I thought he performed well, especially relative to what you would expect a backup to play that level. And in this system, he does move well. He does have some fluidity to him, and I think that that's going to be really important. And let's not forget that if they didn't have Fred Johnson in the fold, you're looking at a youth-infused room with Cameron Williams, Miles Hinton, Holland Pierce. I mean, of course, I still expect them to draft a tackle, but Fred Johnson gives you, proven experience.
He does, and he's obviously back as you would think the swing tackle behind Lane Johnson and obviously Jordan Mailata there. They do have basically their whole offensive line returning, but I don't know, Andrew, about you. You got a new offensive line coach. You got 2 guys coming back from some injury issues. You got Lane, obviously, who's getting close to the end. This offensive line, which has been the star of the team for a number of years, they struggled last year. Do you anticipate this line being a finished product?
Yeah, in turn, I still think they're going to draft an offensive lineman. In fact, right now, as we speak today, I would imagine that offensive tackle will be at the top of the list. Maybe even later, you look for a versatile interior offensive lineman to replace what you had in Brett Toth. They really like Drew Kendall, I can tell you that. But I think in terms of starters for 2026, I think that they're pretty well set there. And that includes Tyler Steen. If you remember at the NFL Scouting Combine, Howie Roseman included Tyler Steen when talking about that group. And so, yeah, I think as a starting unit, they are set.
Andrew DeCecco, Football at 4. Let's look at the change at the safety position. Obviously, Reed Blankenship is out. They traded Sidney Brown, who was more of a reserve player, special teams player. They bring Marcus Epps back. Would you be comfortable with a Andrew Makuba, Marcus Epps tandem, or do you think they still need to find another safety?
If I were the Eagles, I wouldn't necessarily be comfortable with that. I think Marcus Epps is a solid, if unspectacular player that you'd feel more comfortable with starting 3-4 games than you would the full slate of games, because he's a instinctual player, he's a heady player, and someone who I think it can be sort of that Reed Blankenship-esque traffic cop back there, but he does lack for athleticism, he lacks for range, and there are some limitations to his game. But it made a lot of sense to bring him back. They didn't have any experience there at that position, and the Eagles and Marcus Epps know each other well. Marcus knows this defense, so you don't have to worry about him getting up to speed. And if he needs to start in a pinch, he can do that. I still think that there are other avenues in which the Eagles can explore to bolster that group, whether that be the trade market or even in the NFL draft. Now, I'm not suggesting that they take a safety high, but you got to continue to add to that room. And they also signed J.T. Gray, who, for those who don't know in your audience, he's a phenomenal special teams player, but that's really his area of expertise. He's only played 153 snaps on defense. That's not why he was signed, but he kind of replaces the special teams production that the Eagles got from Sidney Brown.
Andrew, last week, I'm sure you were typing away, banging out these stories with all the additions. And last week on Football at 4, the NCAA tournament was on. We didn't get a chance to hear some of your thoughts on. Dameon Pierce is a guy who had a big year in Houston. I don't say a big year, 900-plus yards. Does this feel like a guy who has a role or just a guy that wanted to kick the tires on?
The latter. I think they're more so kicking the tire. You're bringing in someone who's 26 years old, not a lot of tread on the tires, had the breakout rookie campaign, and then injuries mounted. He had some ball security issues, but these are the type of players that you're willing to go the 1-year prove-it deal route with, because if they're able to pan out, you've pretty much paid them next to nothing, and you look pretty smart for bringing that player in. Now, I think Dameon Pierce, and I know that some have pointed to his kick return ability. Yes, he's returned 20 kicks in the NFL. I don't believe it. That's why he was signed. They may look at him there, but he has an uphill battle to make the roster. Make no mistake about that. They have 3 running backs whose roster spots are etched in stone, essentially, of course, with Saquon Barkley, Tank Bigsby, who just changed his number to 8 today, by the way, and Will Shipley, who on game days is a core special teamer, and we'll see how Sean Mannion chooses to use him, maybe as a change-up or in the receiving game. So they have 3 players with defined roles. They did keep 4 last year with A.J. Dillon, but I would argue that that wasn't necessary. So he's going to have an uphill climb to make the roster, in my estimation.
There you go, Nick Nuggets. Earnshaw sitting here with me. DeCecco with a nugget. Tank Bigsby changing his jersey number to 8. He just did that today. Let's get your thoughts and read on the Andy Dalton trade, because it was reported that the Jets had called the Eagles about McKee, and the Eagles asked for a second-round pick. I don't know if that's a greedy ask or they're just not interested in trading him, but then they go out and trade for Andy Dalton. So is that their way of saying we would trade McKee, and now we got a little insurance in case we do?
Yeah, my understanding, Mike, with that whole situation is that there's no immediate plan to move Tanner McKee. Now, that's not to say that if an enticing offer was floated the Eagles' way that they wouldn't pull the trigger, but the Eagles value the backup quarterback position perhaps more than any other team in the league, and I look at the Andy Dalton addition as more fortifying that group. Did they need to add him? Probably not. They could have drafted a quarterback. They are the quarterback factory after all, but they didn't need Sam Howell. They could have probably gotten by without Sam Howell last season. I know McKee was banged up, but they've also invested in previous years in Gardner Minshew, Joe Flacco, Marcus Mariota. And so it's kind of a common theme that you've seen with the Eagles. And so I didn't read a whole lot into it. And it's something that when you see the asking price being a second-round pick, the Eagles clearly value Tanner McKee. And that's always where you want to start. You want to aim high, and then maybe a team you're able to kind of, go a little bit lower in terms of your agreeing for the asking price. But I think right now they're content with their 3 quarterbacks, and if they're blown away down the line, they'll move them. But they're not going to just give Tanner McKee away because they should be looked at as having a luxury of players at that position or anything like that.
All right, Andrew DeCecco, we're inside a month to the NFL draft. Over at InsideTheBirds.com, Andrew's mock draft for the Eagles, his 2.0. And you mentioned it earlier. You have the Eagles staying on the offensive line, Blake Miller from Clemson. So it sounds like even though the line is back, you hinted at it earlier, you still think offensive line will be the direction they go.
Yeah, I do. And to kind of expand on the Blake Miller pick, because if you may remember in my initial mock draft 1.0, I had them taking Caden Proctor, the offensive tackle out of Alabama. Under Jeff Stoutland, that would have made a lot of sense, but Caden Proctor is 6'7", 366 pounds. So I'm not quite sure how that frame or skill set would translate to an offensive line and a run designs that we're expecting is going to demand offensive linemen be a little bit more fleet-footed and more fluid and be able to get in space and things like that. So I look at Blake Miller, 6'7", 315, really athletic, good footwork. He's a polished product in that regard. I do have questions about his ability to anchor, but when you're looking at that point in the draft, I mean, most first-round picks are going to have questions about some area of their game, but I think Blake Miller would tend to profile as a little bit more of an appealing option for this new-look Eagles offense.
All right, check out the full mock draft that Andrew has posted for the Eagles over at InsideTheBirds.com, and check out what areas they might be targeting in the draft. Now, post-free agency, for the most part, I mean, they can still make free agent moves. The last thing I want to ask you, Andrew, before we get out of here is, are they a finished product at edge rusher, or is Howie kicking the tires? Is there a big move to make at edge rusher?
Yeah, this is an interesting one, Mike, because no, I don't think that they're finished at edge rusher, certainly. They went into last offseason with Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith as their top 2 guys. They ended up having to add a reinforcement in a big way in Jalen Phillips. But right now they have Ebiketie, who they signed in free agency. They have Jose Ramirez, who's mostly a camp body, but they still need to carry. The Eagles typically carry 7 or 8 edge rushers into training camp, and whether it's through the draft and you're adding a headliner in the first round or the second round, I like Joshua Josephs out of Tennessee in the second round at 68. I think that might be a sweet spot for him. Or you're drafting someone like a Keldrick Falk out of Auburn at 23. They could still explore the trade market. Jonathan Grenard's a popular name, and I still think that this group lacks for a bona fide headliner that then allows Jalux Hunt to settle into that number 2 role and Nolan Smith to settle into that 3 role and Ebiketie to be that 4th edge rusher. And I think you're feeling pretty good about that group once you make that upgrade.
All right, well, first pitch about a couple minutes away. Andrew, we'll let you get to the first pitch, but everybody listening in here at the Anchorage for Football at 4, everybody's favorite segment of the day. It's Andrew DeCecco for Football at 4 right here on the Sports Bash from the Inside the Birds podcast. Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys. Talk soon.
Happy opening day to Andrew, who's also a baseball fan as well. He likes to watch the Phils, and on the mound, getting ready, is Chris Sanchez, making his first ever opening day start. What's bigger, the opening day start or the game 1 starter?
Oh,
That's a tough
question.
one.
I think
Game 1 starter of
game
what?
1.
I mean, NLDS.
Well, last year he was the game 1 starter for the wild card game.
Oh, yeah, that's out for me. I'm going opening day.
Wow, come
game
on.
1 starter for me.
Even for a dinky little wild card game,
They lost.
Absolutely game 1 starter for me.
for any playoff any
game.
postseason
Yes.
game.
This is game 1 of 162.
It is, though, a little jittery, though. You get the
Yeah,
opening day
absolutely.
starter. By the way, I found the list of every Phillies opening day starter of their history. Do you guys want to take a guess at naming some of the opening day starters in the Phillies history?
Oh, we'll go Aaron Nola,
Nola started, I think, 5 or 6 times.
Yep.
Zach Wheeler,
Wheeler.
Jeremy Hellickson, right? I saw that tweet the other day, right?
Jeremy
Hellickson was
Hellickson,
a starter.
17 and 16.
Cole Hamels.
Cole Hamels, obviously.
Cole Hamels, 2015, 2013.
Roy Halladay.
Roy Halladay from 10, 11, and 12.
All right.
Josh, if you want to cheat like you did the other day, feel free.
Who else we got?
Can we go Terry Mulholland?
Terry Mulholland in 91, 92, and 93.
Yes.
Steve Carlton.
Steve Carlton,
Lefty.
of course, from 72 to 75, and then again from 77 to 86.
There you go.
These are Phillies opening day starters.
So we got to hit the early 2000s. We have not named a guy from that time period.
Josh, do you have any guesses that these gentlemen have not hit on?
Well, one of them I know is Robert Person.
Robert Person did start in 2002.
Okay, so there's the early 2000s, but we
Yep.
still need another.
One of them might be Kevin Millwood.
Yeah,
Kevin
Millwood.
Millwood, 03 and 04.
Good one.
Kurt Schilling.
Vicente-
Did somebody mention
what
that
about-
yet?
Kurt Schilling,
Kurt
97, 98, and 99.
Vicente Padilla.
Flotilla? Padilla
Are
Flotillas?
you sure you want to go with that
I
one?
will know. I'm not part of this one.
This is 2000s and up, right?
Right. Traded for?
Kurt Schilling.
Oh, how about Randy Wolf?
He was in the Schilling trade. Randy Wolf. You sure you want to go with that one?
No, I guess not.
What about John Lieber? Is he on the list?
John
Good one.
Lieber is on the
Good
list.
pull,
He started
Josh.
not 1, but 2 opening days for the Phillies.
2? Good grief.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, man.
I mean, we could. I mean,
What
you guys,
years are we missing right now?
Well, I mean, this is their entire history, but I mean, if you want to, you hit Carlton, so we
Yeah.
can go from like 86 on, because after Carlton, there's one in there you're definitely not getting. Maybe 2.
Trying to think of Wall
There's
of Famers.
one that I wouldn't think you got either. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I don't think you're getting. Not even Josh.
Not even Josh.
Not even if he cheats.
Are we missing any like Wall of Fame guys?
Well, with the Phillies, everyone's a Wall of Fame.
Yeah. It's like the Basketball Hall of Fame. Everyone gets in.
But,
You get a
Hall of Fame
trophy.
plaque.
You get a trophy.
You get a plaque.
I mean, Carlton in 72, anything before that, I'm not I mean, Robin Roberts started a ton of games.
Didn't Jim Bunning start back in like the 60s?
Bunning did start in 67, but you're going way back. I'm not expecting. I'm talking 86 on. After Carlton made his last opening day start in 86, after that, it got rough.
It got rough. That's a nice way
It
to
got
say
rough. This guy started 2 straight years after Carlton. In 87 and 88.
Is this the one we're not going to get?
Well, I wouldn't think you get 87, 88, 89, 90, 96, 2000, and 2001. You did get 2002, which I would not have thought anybody would have gotten.
Well, I remember that one. So
there is one other
distinctly.
guy that you have not gotten that I would think that you would know.
I mean, didn't... Oh, what did he start?
Danny Jackson.
Danny Jackson is incorrect.
So
on the 93 team.
I got to be honest. I got a name, but I can't remember if he was a starter or not. Because was Bruce Ruffin ever a starter for opening day for the Phillies?
Bruce Ruffin is correct.
Wow.
I have to imagine that Josh looked that up.
That's
No,
Josh's,
I'm watching him. He is on the stream right now.
That's Josh's setup.
he
I
did not
can't
look it
imagine
up.
I'm going to get this one right, and I'm going to guess Bruce Ruffin.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I remember
What a
him is
pull.
because he was with the Phillies, and then he was later with the Mets and a bunch of other teams.
He's
So,
got his Wikipedia page right in front of him right now.
You really trust Wikipedia? That's a dumb move by you.
With
Pete.
that kind of stuff, yeah.
Yes, I do.
I don't trust Wikipedia for nothing.
Well, that's unfortunate. That's a plethora of knowledge.
That's
By the way,
probably
you
the
mentioned
reason why it
Bruce
takes so
Ruffin.
long.
You just said you remember Bruce Ruffin because he played for the Mets, which is incorrect. He
didn't?
did not play
Who
for
did he
the
play
Mets.
for then?
Well, I only guessed Bruce Ruffin because he played for the Mets.
Well, he played
did
for a
not
bunch
play.
of teams was my point.
He played for 3 teams. 1, the Phillies. 1, not the Mets.
Well, who are the
One
other
A,
teams he played for
Not
then?
the Mets.
You're not doing a good job of hiding your cheat.
I'm
He
not
played for
trying
the-
to hide anything. I'm
He
just telling
played
you
for
what
the-
I thought.
I'm saying your rationale for guessing Ruffin was that you remember that he played for the Mets. I'm saying he did not play.
It was
for
a
the Mets.
misspeak.
Yeah.
It was a misspeak.
And he played for a lot of teams, which is not true. He only played for 3. Played for the Phillies and the Brewers and one other team.
Right.
All right. After Carlton, there was a left-hander who started. Played for, I think after the Phillies, he might have gone to Cleveland or San Francisco. Not 100% sure.
Lefty.
I'll give you guys the one guy you're not getting. Floyd Yeomans,
Nope.
you're not getting.
Nope.
He started in 89. Bruce Ruffin started in 90. Mulholland started for 3 straight years, then Schilling. Then Sid Fernandez started. in
Never would have
80
remembered that.
In 96. Schilling for 3 straight, then Andy Ashby.
Andy Ashby.
Signed a big deal
Yes.
after he came from San Diego. He was with the Phillies. They traded him to San Diego, and then he ended up being really good there. They signed him, and he stunk. Omar Dahl started in 01.
Wow.
See, I was going to guess that, but I wasn't sure if he actually started opening day or not.
What a pull.
Person, Millwood, Lieber. The one guy you didn't get was Brett Myers. Started
Myers.
3 straight years.
Someone did text the text
05?
board Brett Myers.
Myers 07, 08, and 09. Myers was the opening day starter in 08 when they won the World
Wow.
Series. Who would have got that?
No one.
The
Well,
fact
actually,
that
no.
Brett Myers.
Someone did text the text board. They didn't leave their name, so we got to give the anonymous person credit.
Did he guess the year?
He just guessed Brett Myers.
Brett
Because
Myers, great pull.
Brett Myers started 3 years, but if I said he started 3, would you guess one of them was the World Series year?
No.
No.
No,
Me
I
neither.
wouldn't have thought the World Series.
I
year
would
at
not
all.
have either. I would not have.
Well,
thought
Cole
that
was
either.
such a young player at that time. The fact he won the World Series MVP that year. Was
Myers started,
unbelievable.
by the way, for 3, Halladay for 3, and then Hamels got the start in 2013. Cliff Lee started in 2014.
Wow.
And then Hamels again in 15. Jeremy Hellickson started 2 years. And then Nola went on that streak of 6 straight before Wheeler took the ball in 24 and 25. And then today, it is Christopher Sanchez.
Sanchez.
There you go. All right, Sports Bash is live on 97.3 ESPN. We are at the Anchorage in Summers Point. We are filling up here. We're giving away a trip to go see the Phillies play the Orioles at Camden Yards on the White Horse RV text board. I like this one. This one is for one of the text guys. He said, I noticed in the email to the contestants, Josh said around 4:30.
Wow.
Maybe he's growing from giving exact times.
Not 4:31, 4:29.
Around 4:30 was the text message.
I've been saying that for years, though, so that ain't new.
Mike, a hot dog with sauerkraut cooked for a few hours is the best.
Oh.
Well, you can't go a few hours. I mean, you just got to get that thing cooked and eat it.
Well, maybe he means the kraut.
Okay, sauerkraut. Okay, I got you.
On the hot dog?
This guy says, Brandon in Dennisville says, a no-topping hot dog is diabolical. Shame on you, Nuggets. Diabolical.
Not the first time. Not the first time.
All right.
Phillies did get through that top half inning, by the way. Sanchez did give up 2 hits.
Couple hits, but no runs.
Yep.
All right, we've got a couple poll questions. Got the Sixer question, and we got the ketchup. We got the hot dog question. What do you have on your hot dog? Ketchup, mustard, yellow mustard, spicy mustard, or nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
Easy.
All right, we'll come back. We got the Nuggets for today. Live Nuggets, not a live hot dog, though. More Sports Bash coming up.
It's the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Keeping the fans entertained and happy.
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, Sports Bash Live. We got our first Schwarbomb of the year.
About that.
Kyle Schwarber with an opposite field homer, and the Phillies have a early lead, 2-0 against the Rangers. Nate Eovaldi gets the start for the Rangers, but it's Kyle Schwarber.
That's how you
with
draw
an
it up,
opposite
right?
field home run.
Turner gets on base with his legs.
Perfect,
That's how you
right?
drew it up.
You go opposite field to start things off.
And
We're
then,
live.
and then Bryce Harper strikes out.
Damn it. We're at the
That's a
Anchorage
nugget.
at Summers Point. If you are heading down here, you have some time, but we are going to be giving away the trip to Baltimore to see the Phillies play the Orioles. That's at Camden Yards.
Yes.
This summer. Round trip transportation, 2 tickets to the game. You're going to get fed, all that good stuff. One lucky winner. We also got other tickets to give away for Guns N' Roses, Zach Brown Band. Brett Michaels is at Caesars on May 22nd. Zach Brown is at the Mann Music Center. And Guns N' Roses at MetLife Stadium on August the 12th. So you can win those tickets as well. Hey, don't forget, go check out my guy Rocco over at Key Acura of Atlantic City. He'll get you into a new 2026 Acura Integra for 36-month lease, $219 a month. It's an Acura. Check out the deal before it expires on March 31st. Go to Key Acura on Silton Road in Egg Harbor Township. Online, Key Acura, Atlantic City. All right, it's time for the Nuggets. Nick Earnshaw is in the house. He ate 2 hot dogs. Neither had ketchup or mustard.
Neither.
Psychotic.
Yeah, if you want to go that route, fine, sure. I think it's normal. It's fine to have a plain hot dog. It is what it is. Shout out to Shaner for the 2 hot dogs at EHT.
Shaner at the he was over there. He came over and gave you the 2 dogs, and they both had nothing on them.
The reason for that is I said a couple of weeks ago, I'm not in love with having a ton of food at the ballpark. I like to sit in my seat and just, I don't want to make a mess. You know what I mean?
I think Shaner would rescind that hot dog offer if he
But
knew
Shaner,
you weren't going to use
I
the
just
ketchup.
want to give Shaner the benefit of the doubt. He brought over both ketchup and mustard.
Yes.
So he didn't think you were a psycho.
No.
He just didn't put on the condiments for you. He supplied them and let you pick, and you chose neither.
He assumed that you were a normal person who eats ketchup and
Well,
mustard
the
on
fact that he had to bring them over, there's already a question there. He already knew I'm a little bit crazy. Anyway, and then also Jeff in Ocean City, he supplied me with an Easy Pass application.
Now, when you showed me that, I first thought that he paid for the Easy Pass for you. I was like, that's going a little overboard, Jeff.
That would have been a little much. No,
I
he
did
did
get my
supply
first.
it to me, though.
I did get my first Easy Pass, because I just got a new car, and I didn't change over my Easy Pass, so I must have been driving without it. So I got the letter in the mail, which, you know what? It's like bank error in your favor. You should scan my plates and know that I have an Easy Pass.
I just think they should just bring back cash tolls. There's nothing wrong with cash. It still works in this country.
No, I don't have a problem.
What's wrong with
I don't love the whole,
I hate it.
thing,
It's a joke.
but I don't need to be waiting at the damn toll. That's a waste of time.
I had a rapport with some of the toll workers there.
Did you?
I did.
Yeah.
They knew every Saturday, coming down to do the Schweim show, when I come down to do the Nuggets in person on a remote or
It's
something.
like driving to
they
Margate. You go over that Margate Bridge.
Yeah.
Hey, there's my next door neighbor from when I was growing up,
knew. Friendly neighborhood here.
working
all
at the
right?
Margate Bridge toll.
But it was also more convenient for me because I do have cash on me. So,
I got
Well,
it.
you still
Whatever.
get your fair share of the Philly tolls, right?
I
do,
got
but
it.
they still have cash there.
Yeah.
at least.
I got to drive to Delaware tomorrow and Friday. I'm calling Blue Coats tomorrow and Friday.
Have cash on you.
I got no cash. I'm a
Unbelievable.
cashless citizen.
I
got no
refuse.
cash.
I will refuse this application from Jeff in Ocean City. I will not be getting Easy Pass because I have no intention of.
Well, it's not changing.
Yeah.
At this point, now you're just wasting money. 'Cause
I'd
with
rather do that to stick
with
it to
the
the
Easy
van
Pass. At least
than
you're
that.
saving money.
Yeah.
I'll take the back roads if I have to. I don't care. I'll take the extra 10 minutes. I'm
Well,
out. I'm
why
out
don't
on the
you
Easy
just
Pass.
Get with the program and just get Easy Pass.
I had an Easy Pass, and they kept taking too much out.
Wow.
Well, maybe it'll
Wow.
be different.
Well,
Maybe
you know
it'll
what
be
you
different.
do? You do what I did. I have a Pennsylvania Easy Pass
Ah. There you go.
because Jersey tried sticking it to me.
Yeah, Jersey Easy Pass. I'm out.
So I
Totally
went,
out on it.
I went and got. I think mine's either a PA or a Delaware.
There you go. Yeah, I'm out on that. All right, let's get into the Nuggets. Speaking of Bryce Harper, he struck out following that Schwarberian shot to the opposite field, to left field. And you know what's funny? Bryce Harper has not had great opening days, especially for the Philadelphia Phillies. And if you go back throughout his history, he has had only 3 multi-hit games on opening day. Will he get one today? He's already 0 for 1. I highly doubt it. And his 3 were all with the Nationals. He does not have a multi-hit opening day game with the Philadelphia Phillies.
So he needs 2 more hits and probably 3 more at-bats today is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, I probably don't see it happen.
Not happening.
So he will have 0 multi-hit games, if that does happen, with the Philadelphia Phillies, if he continues to go on this cold streak on opening day with the Fightins.
It looks like it. And, I actually am wondering, everybody thinks he's all motivated because of this not elite thing. And he said, well, I'm not like that. Well, then all offseason he did the shirts and all that stuff. It's just going to turn into a big deal where, it ends up getting the pressure starts to mount on him if he gets off to a slow start. We saw Judge go 0 for last night with 4 strikeouts to start the game.
And Harper did not have a good WBC. I mean, he had the homer, but that's about it.
He had the big home run. That meant something. That had a little feeling behind it, Mike.
Yep.
But, that there's a little concern there. Like, he was missing pitches. Like, he was just missing. It felt like his timing was a little bit off. Obviously it's spring training. It's WBC. It's February, March. I get it. But you need him to have a big year. Like, the elite comments, everything. Bryce has to get off to a hot start.
I mean, the WBC thing, again, we talked about this. Trey Turner was amazing in the WBC in 2023, and then he was horrible in 2023 here. So I don't know that there's a lot of correlation when you're facing pitchers who, You got
to get your timing right still. It doesn't matter who you're facing. You're in a World Baseball Classic, etc.
It is
spring training.
It's more important, though, than hitting with Frenchie's Tiki Bar in left field. There's a little bit more intensity.
There's definitely more intensity. No question about it.
Got the USA.
Now, let me ask you a question. You were at the game Friday.
Yeah.
I was more impressed with him driving in the 2 runs against Scooble than hitting a home run against the tomato can.
No.
Yeah.
I was not.
I would agree with that. And Crawford had a nice double as well off. Is that
triple?
It was a triple off Scooble.
He was there and he forgot.
Yeah, he's still down in Palm Beach Peak down there.
The surf sides.
No, but the moment is the part of this, Pete. All right? The moment. That's why that was more impressive than the Scooble.
The moment is fine. It's just who you achieve that moment off of.
I understand where you're coming from. However, I think the moment, the pressure, the feeling, a little bit more than going off a spring training game against Scooble. That's all.
Full house at Baycare Ballpark. 10,000.
The pressure's a little more when you're in a championship final of a WBC. All right, moving along. Something that fans also are going to see, nugget number 2, and you guys saw this down in Clearwater. The ABS system is finally instituted, and you will see it throughout the majority of the season. How much of a factor do you guys think the ABS will play throughout the majority of the Phillies season?
Tough to tell. I mean, do you say you want... Like, I was listening to a podcast today with Jason Benetti, who's going to be the Sunday Night Baseball play-by-play guy, and they were saying, like, they asked him if he had, like, a call in his head for a game that ends on an ABS challenge.
That would be so unfortunate. So unfortunate.
Well, I think, with Josh, were you telling me yesterday that they think that JT Realmuto might win the Gold Glove and that they might incorporate his ability to call ABSs and get them overturned?
Yeah, so Zalecki on the Philly Show podcast was saying that JT, the 5 ABS he got overturned in spring training all resulted either in the Phillies getting a strikeout for the pitcher or overturning a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to pick your spots with it, too, because you only have so
strategy,
many.
right.
Yeah, but if you challenge it and you win, you get to keep it and keep challenging. So that can turn into
when
a big
to do
thing.
it. I mean, you're not going to challenge a pitch in the first inning.
No.
Right?
you're going to wait till later in the game or a consequential moment in the game during a certain pocket. I think that's when you're going to see JT. And there's going to be a lot of feel and testing out of this throughout the rest of the season as these players get used to it because it's a new thing. And I don't think you're going to see a lot of pitchers really request it. It's going to be more so the catchers.
Pitchers think everything's a strike.
Yeah.
So I would
a little biased
on the catchers.
Well, the pitchers were kind of saying, like,
they don't like it.
Yeah, they don't like it a lot. Well, I was surprised. We were talking about this, like, how could they not want it? And a lot of the pitchers had said they don't like it.
Yeah. So the ABS that'll be instituted to this season. You'll start seeing it throughout the year.
It's more for the egregious calls, right? Because the calls on the edge, they could go either way.
And we also have to remember
the egregious ones need to be fixed.
That box is not right on television all the time.
Well, they're not using the box on TV anymore.
I know, but I'm saying for the past couple of years,
I've always made that argument.
It wasn't correct all the time. So we might be seeing something that looks clearly like a ball, and it might have crossed the plate.
That was an argument that I always made, was that the box on the screen it's the same size for every hitter.
Right.
So that's not necessarily being accurate of balls and strikes. Because then it makes the umpire look like an idiot. Did you guys see the video the other day where the umpire got challenged and he turned around and was like, please be a strike?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I did see that. All right. There's nugget number 2 for you. Final nugget of the day. I got to go a little basketball. I know it's opening day. I have my opening day nuggets with the Bryce Harper stat as well as the ABS being instituted throughout the year. The 76ers, and we mentioned it earlier in the show, since 1970, the most points they've scored in a game, 157 last night. And, Mike, we'll update the poll question as well because I think this is a fascinating poll. It has changed, by the way, throughout the show.
Made a flip.
After last night's 157-point explosion, how far does a healthy Sixers squad go? First round exit is now in the lead at 38%. Second round ceiling, 14%. Eastern Conference Finals, 32%. And Finals bound, 16%.
I'm still surprised that the Eastern Conference Finals is in there. It was in the lead for a long part of the day. It's now flipped to a first-round exit. So you got the haters, but now you got a bunch of people who have all of a sudden become optimistic after last night.
Yeah, I think there's reason to be. This is the ideal scenario for the 76ers, the way everything is played out. Ideal, for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what's ideal, is that you play the Hornets tomorrow, then you play the Heat on Monday. And those are two teams that are directly in battle with you for the play-in tournament. If you can beat those two teams, you should really separate yourself from those two teams and keep yourself away from the play-in tournament situation, at least from those two. Put yourself in a spot to at least be either 7 or 8.
Right.
But if you're the Sixers and you can win those two games and get yourself going and get a little momentum going, you got a bunch of teams tanking, at least 3 or 4 more teams that are tanking, and you can win these two. That's 2 plus, I know they play Washington. I'm pretty sure they play Milwaukee. They've got, I think,
Indiana's in there.
I think they play 3 or 4 teams that are tanking. If you can win the 2 games this weekend, plus that's about 4 to 5 more wins out of your last 9.
Yeah, and that's what you need, especially since you're playing against these teams that you're in the mix with at the moment in Charlotte, Miami. I mean, these are important games coming up for the Sixers because you do not want to get stuck in the play-in. If this team can get past the play-in, don't have to worry about it, you get in the first round, that's when I think they have a better shot. You don't want to play in the play-in.
Am I sitting here thinking that the Philadelphia 76ers are going to the NBA Finals? No. Do I think they're going to the Eastern Conference Finals? Probably not.
You can make a case for it, though.
But what I'm looking for is last year, I got no playoffs.
Nothing.
Zip.
Zero.
And at this point, they've come too far. They're not in the lottery. So at this point, I just want to see games. I want to have some fun. Like, hey, it's Friday night. The Sixers are in Game 5. Anybody want to go to the Anchorage and go watch the game?
Yeah.
Like, at this point, that's what I'm looking for. I was stripped of that last year. And the year before, we pretty much got stripped of it because they got knocked out in the first round, and that season stunk.
Yeah, they got just totally bounced real quick. And then if you look at this also, About a week ago, people were calling for the Sixers to tank.
I know.
This was like a week ago.
Well, I wasn't one of those
I
people.
was not either.
Because mathematically, it just didn't make any sense, right?
No.
It was like, I got people's and by the way, did you hear what the commissioner said yesterday?
By the way, Justin Crawford.
First Major League hit.
Major League hit. It's a single.
There we go. Well, a single, and then probably, anybody want to put a couple shackles down on a little stolen base?
Oh. Make a couple bucks today with that.
How about that?
Well, I will add this. My bold take for the year with Justin Crawford, bats over 300 the entire year.
Wow. Well, he's at 1,000 right now. You got a good shot for the end of the day.
Yeah.
But
nice catch there by
nice
the left
catch,
fielder.
Yeah. Trey Turner robbed.
Yeah.
Now you got another Schwarberian now. He'll start off.
See, I like that. Crawford gets on base in the 9-hole, turns the table over to Trey Turner.
Well, this is one of the things that everybody's kind of talked about is that your number 9-hole hitter is now going to be a much more impactful, hopefully, that's the hope.
As opposed to Johan Rojas?
As opposed to Johan Rojas.
Yes, you hope that's the case. Because Rojas, remember, he couldn't hit anything that was anything other than a fastball. In that first year he came up.
Struggled with that, too.
He struggled with that throughout.
Hey, there was no bigger Rojas guy than at least I was fair
I liked
to him.
Rojas, too.
I was at least fair to him.
You were. I think most people were. But he never got the everyday at-bats that he probably needed to really get going.
And we talked about it. Justin Crawford's a guy who you can pencil in every day to lock down that center field spot.
Well, now, yes,
They've
he's
been
going to
missing
play
that.
against lefties and righties. He's out there every day. And in the minors, he hit lefties, he hit righties. He gets on base. He gives you a little speed. He goes first to third. We were in the game in Clearwater against Scoobel. He hits the ball in the corner. He gets a triple.
Well, he did what he was supposed to do, right? 2 outs. He gets a base hit to flip the lineup back over the top. And what does Trey Turner do? Pop out.
What were we just talking about with the Sixers, by the way?
That's a great question. We got distracted by the Crawford.
How far they
first
can go
hit.
in the postseason.
Yeah, how far they can go.
Well, no,
and what people were saying last week where, hey, you got to tank.
Right, mathematically, that didn't really
Asinine.
make any sense. It didn't make any sense. But what the commissioner said yesterday, he came right out and said the tanking will stop. Next year, it will be different. So they're coming up with something to try to combat the tanking.
They're also going to try and rectify the 65-game rule for awards because no one's playing 65 games anymore.
Which is sad.
It's sad.
But also, I have said this. Like, I think Cade Cunningham he has a gripe.
Sure.
Because he's not load managing.
No.
He legitimately got an injury. I think if you legitimately got an injury,
and he was an MVP candidate.
Right, but if you legitimately got an injury that forces you to miss 10 games or more,
yes,
then the 65-game thing shouldn't count against you. And if the voter wants to vote for you, then they should be able to.
It's a mess. I mean, it's a total mess. And they weren't apologizing when Embiid, went down however many times.
Well, because if you miss 10 games, I don't think it's the Embiid rule. I think they were trying to curb the
fair.
But
I think
they were trying to curb the load management so much so that they did this, but they didn't take into account somebody getting hurt and missing 10 games or 14 games.
But it was amplified by Embiid's year that season. They instituted it right after. That's all.
In this situation, if you miss 10 games, that brings you down to 72. So the 65 games, you can play the rest. Well, you mean you get hurt and miss 3 games.
They're in a tough spot, man. I would not want to be Adam Silver right now. They have a lot of pickles to say the least.
He's got a lot of problems to solve here. We still haven't heard about the LA Clippers nonsense or what punishment
By the way,
get.
I don't think you will.
You don't believe so?
No.
I think it's going to fly right under the
radar.
Really? Yep.
No death penalty?
Nothing.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
All right, there's Nuggets. A little 3-pack for you today. And a Justin Crawford, first Major League hit during the Nugs today.
All right, so we got the Justin Crawford first Major League Baseball hit. We got Christopher Sanchez making his first ever start. We're live at the Anchorage in Summers Point, and man, we got a huge crowd here today.
Oh, it's packed.
It is a big-time crowd,
and they are locked in. That Schwarber home run, had a little juice behind it with
I
this
was
crowd.
making announcements, and Schwarber hits the home run. I was like, no one cares what I'm
if
saying.
you're coming down here, they've got the Bud Light games on the porch to try to win some
He
prizes.
did that right during that Schwarbaum.
By the way, Bert Kreischer, Friday, April 3rd and Saturday, April 4th at Ovation Hall. Bert Kreischer is at the Ocean AC. Get your tickets, theoceanac.com. Bert Kreischer, April 3rd and on the 4th. Lenny Kravitz takes the stage at Ovation Hall. He will be there on May 16th, Saturday, May 16th. Don't miss Lenny Kravitz live in Atlantic City at Ocean. Get your tickets now at the Ocean.
And
AC.
by the way, Mets, that is a final 11-7 over the Buccos.
A lot of offense there.
Okay.
Yep.
So the Mets are in first place.
Yeah, as of right now. Yeah, as of right now, they are.
Gotcha. Coming up, we've also got the 5 o'clock hour on the way. Got a bunch to do there. We got live Phillies action. We're going to be giving you some updates throughout the show. What do we got here?
Sanchi.
What is this?
One
third?
out.
Third?
Third inning. Top of the
Third
third.
inning, yeah.
One out.
All right, we come back, more updates on the Phils. And, of course, we've got Sweet 16 tonight right here on 97.3 ESPN. Sixers with the big win last night. Did it do anything to change your mind about the Sixers who, holy mackerel, what a game from Joel. Paul George comes back with a big game as well. When will Maxey return? All that and more still to come. The Sports Bash is live on 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. And don't forget, you can watch the show live on the 97.3 ESPN YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and search 973 ESPN. All right, final hour of the show, everybody. Welcome aboard a Thursday edition. It feels like it should be Friday, but it's really only Thursday. It's opening day, beautiful day. We got all sorts of specials here at the Anchorage in Summers Point for the final hour of the show. Bud Light, $3. Neutral cans, $5. Orange Crush, Fanatic Orange Crushes. Schwarber, the Bohm, the Harper. They're all some nice Phillies opening day drinks. Food specials, you got Bavarian pretzel sticks, a smash burger, a double smash burger, classic hot dog with mustard, chili cheese dog, Texas Tommy dog, and they got the Schmitter, which is a hot roast beef, American cheese, pork roll with tomato, fried onions, Schmitter sauce on a Kaiser for $10.
That's unbelievable. What a steal.
Great deal. Great deal. We're giving away the trip to Baltimore. That's coming up in a little bit here. We're letting the last group of people kind of filter in. We got a packed house in here, though, man. It is jamming in this.
It's packed. You
It
can't
is packed.
move.
It is. It's pretty crowded, man. I know if you're sitting at the bar, you're watching the game over there. Phils are up 2-0. It was a Schwarber home run in the first inning. Got an early Schwarber bomb. Bryce Harper 0 for 2 with a strikeout and then a ground out.
I don't think he's getting that multi-hit game for the Phils in opening day today. Doesn't seem like it. He's got probably two more at-bats.
Probably not, but I'll tell you what. If later on he comes up big, he comes up big a little bit later on in the game, PG over here is going to have to apologize to him, right?
Yes.
You're going to have to go apologize because he's over here ripping them.
On the swing and a miss just now, I said he stinks.
On.
He said, his bat speed's too slow.
Yep.
All right, we got a bunch of Phillies questions throughout the show. We've been kind of tackling here throughout the day here. All right, we talked a little bit earlier. Is Christopher Sanchez ready for the spotlight? Well, so far, he's throwing zeros.
Looks pretty good out there to me so far early on in this ball game. 2-0 Phils. Get a little run support from a Schwarberian shot.
All right, my prediction on Sanchez, because I'm the one, it makes it sound as if I'm skeptical. And as I said, Christopher Sanchez has turned into my favorite pitcher in baseball.
Wow.
I mean, wow.
That was quick.
That's high praise, though.
Yeah.
I love watching Sanchez pitch. I love his fire. Number one, he's a changeup guy. Anybody changeup, and the way he throws that thing, love it.
And he can still throw 98, 99.
So you were a big Hamels guy throughout the years.
Loved Hamels.
Yeah.
Big changeup guy myself. The changeup to me is the most devastating pitch. If you can master that thing, you can master. And that's Christopher Sanchez has mastered that pitch. So I love watching him pitch. He's turned into my favorite pitcher. I think Sanchez is going to have a better year this year than he had last year.
Oh, so you do think he gets Cy Young?
I don't know about that now. I'll tell you what, Skeen's got off to a pretty bad start today. It's going to be hard for him. It's going to be hard for him to fix that when you think about it.
2/3 of an inning.
On a bad team.
It's like what happened to Romano last year. He was never able to recover. He was awful.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you can't recover from having an inning like that. Now, a starter has a better chance to fix it.
Well, remember that happened
if you're
to
a bullpen guy and you have an inning like that, you're not fixing yourself.
It's kaput.
That happened to Luzardo. He had those two bad starts.
Yeah.
And his ERA was a little inflated because of
right.
that.
We did a couple of shows talking
I actually
about
got a text today. I just got a text a couple of minutes ago. Are you guys bringing back On the Porch this season?
Wow.
Wow.
Maybe.
We're talking about it.
I
We
hope.
got a couple ideas on that. So the Sanchez thing, I think Sanchez will have a better year this year than last year. Now, does that mean he's going to win the Cy Young? That I don't know. I mean, Skeens is obviously a favorite. I wonder what that did for his odds. Let's take a look at that. Did that? The fact that he got knocked around like that right off the bat, did that already alter his Cy Young odds? Do you think yes or no?
It had
Yes,
yes.
absolutely.
So right off the bat, you think that these odds are going
I
to take
think so. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy only pitched 2/3 of an inning. First start, he's got an ERA at 67, I believe, at the moment. I mean, that's hard to come back from.
Yeah, but if you're a starting pitcher,
It's
you
easier,
can. Yes,
but
definitely.
still, that's tough.
Right. Like the big problem is if you're a reliever and you have an inning like that, your ERA and stuff are shot for the rest of the year, no matter what you do.
Paul Skeens, 2/3 of an innings pitched, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 1 K, 67.50 ERA.
All right, so for National League Cy Young, right now, Skeens is plus 260. Yamamoto's plus 550. Sanchez is plus 600. So I don't know where that was at the start of the day.
We knew.
But I think Sanchez is going to have a better year this year than he had last year.
I think those three guys you just mentioned are probably going to be the top three guys in the Cy Young voting.
I
right?
like Nolan McLean, too. I think he's another guy. Logan Webb, by the way, he had a bad night last night.
That's another WBC guy, Earnshaw. Got shelled.
Yeah.
And the
Nola
guy
got shelled.
What's the message? Those guys played in these high-leverage games, and then they played in these, crappy major league games. Skeens lost. Webb lost.
Yeah.
It's the price you pay for playing in the WBC. Sorry.
I thought that was Cam Rogers for a second. My God.
It is what it is. He's got a Duran shirt on.
Wow, a little Duran.
Where's
Oh,
Duran
Durantula.
one I've seen?
I was looking around at the different jerseys in here. We got a Schwarber, and we topped the St. Patty's Day
Hunter
Pence jersey.
Favorite one of the day.
Have we seen someone top that one yet?
Not yet. I did see a Stott. That's kind of one you don't
Saw
see every day.
Schwarber, saw Bohm.
A couple Schwarbers. There's this guy.
Yeah.
What's he got on over there? Is he another Schwarber? Because I see a lot
He
of
might be a
the
Schwarber.
powder blues. He's got a Schwarber City Connect on. He's got a Schwarber powder blue.
Now, right here we
PG
got
goes.
a World Series jacket.
That's a nice jacket. That's
Very nice.
That's a price. That guy paid a price for that thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. These guys took the ride from Long Beach Island
LBI.
down here today.
They're trying to get those
Check out the
tickets.
show. Yeah, well, we're giving away those tickets. So let's go through some more. So Sanchez, to me, I think Sanchez is going to have a better year this year than last year. So it's one of the reasons my win total is 98. Everybody else is lower than
that would
mine.
be the highest win total for this group of guys.
I hope you're right. I really do because
Of
of
course you do.
the bullpen.
You don't want them to win less.
True. But I hope you get 5 more wins than me. I said 93. I think the bats will go slow at times throughout the year. That'll cost them some games. I still think they win the division 93.
Now, I think Sanchez is a better year than last year. I also think Wheeler is back to Cy Young form.
How much does the
That would help a
absence of Ranger matter?
Is that a home? Oh, did he misplay that ball? Yep, Crawford.
I'm not sure.
That was Andrew McCutchen with that double.
McCutchen's hitting fifth today, by the way. So, what was your question?
I forget now. Oh, Ranger Suarez.
Ranger.
It's a good question. I will tell you why I don't think it factors in all that much. For me, now I don't know about everybody else because I know everybody loved Ranger, and I like Ranger too. He had a good year last year. He had a great start to the year, and then, he's been a big game pitcher for them. But I'm in the camp that thinks Painter is going to be a difference maker.
I hope you're right. Once again, with Andrew Painter, I think he'll be okay. I think there's going to be times that you're going to see him struggle throughout the year. I don't think he's just going to come right in and be like a Paul Skeens and have an ERA under 2 and go crazy. I think there's going to be some growing pains with Painter throughout the year.
And with all these guys, when they're all healthy, when Wheeler comes back, Aaron Nola is basically your fourth starter.
All right, well, let's talk about Nola. Where do you guys own? Because I'm bullish probably more than anybody that I've heard on Painter. I think Painter is 13-5 with an ERA of 2.50. That kind of.
Sure. I think you're also going to get the Nola coaster this year. I think it's going to be back to the normal Nola coaster.
But Nola as a fourth starter, that's pretty good.
No, but he's saying,
Yeah,
the Nola coaster, meaning you're going to get back to Nola where he's
good one day.
He pitches 4 good games, 2 bad ones, an average game, a really good one, a bad one. Yes, the Nola coaster. But
I think we'll be back. What we saw in the WBC is going to be prevalent during the season, throughout the year. Back to, he pitched great. He's an ace. Oh, he's not an ace. He's an ace.
Yeah,
he's not an ace.
I think ultimately you're going to get the Nola that you are used to.
Sure.
And that's not the guy from last year.
But that's what you need. You need that guy
He's
back.
better than last year. Yeah,
you
last
need that
year
guy
was
back.
a bad year.
Don't get me wrong. You need that Nola coaster
Right,
back.
so the Painter-Nola duo combats the fact that Ranger's not here.
It combats the Taiwan Walker and
I think
guess
you're going to
whoever
see
you
some
wanna name.
Taiwan Walker starts this year.
I think, I think Taiwan Walker makes
Yeah.
3 starts, and then they replace him with Wheeler.
Yeah, I mean, now again, there's no Mick Abel to come up from AAA, right? There's nobody else. these are your guys.
No,
these are your 6 guys.
I will say that is the one thing I think this team, if they suffer an injury or 2 injuries to the pitching staff, they do not have a lot of organizational starting pitching depth.
Yeah.
I think the next guy up would be Alan Rangel.
I think you're right about that. And the fact they don't have a Mick Abel. Painter's now up. And they don't have Rangers. So Taijuan Walker, if someone goes down, he's going to get a lot. He's going to be an important innings eater again this year.
Absolutely. And look, Painter, keep this in mind. This is why I think Painter's going to have a really good year, is he came off the Tommy John surgery. But, you better hope that he doesn't have any ill effects from that arm injury.
Yeah.
You better hope that he is. And the question I guess I would have is he on pitch limits, pitch counts, innings limits, any of that stuff?
How would you go about having Zach Wheeler back, right? Like, would you put him on a pitch count and innings limit in the beginning of the year? That's how I would start it. I wouldn't let him just fire away when he comes back right away. I'd probably ease him back into everything.
I think that's
important.
Well, I don't know. He's the kind of guy that I think once he's back, he doesn't want any.
I know, but, man, that's a tough thing to come back from. It's a blood clot in your pitching arm.
Well, you say it's a tough thing, and it's like I'm not trying to diminish it, but there's no precedent.
I know. That's the problem. That's why, do you ease him back in, or you just, Zach, you're back?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. You got to say, hey, well, the guy's got Tommy John.
You want him in the postseason. That's my point. It's the Embiid effect.
And that's why I'm not you have to rush him back. I don't need to see him in the month of April. But I guess if he is ready, I think he feels like I don't need to, because a lot of times you would have thought he would have been in extended spring training.
Yeah.
And he's not. He's pitching in a rehab game already. And I think that's him saying, guys, I don't need to be down here any longer.
He's ready.
Yeah.
It's a great sign, but if you're the Phillies, that is
and
one of your meal tickets.
Most athletes nowadays, they do kind of take it slow coming back, right? Not a lot of guys will just.
Well, the teams make them.
Right, that's true.
I think the teams are, the ones that kind of push them to slow things down sometimes. But in this situation, I think the Phillies are letting
Wheeler dictate.
I don't want to say dictate, but I think they're saying instead of pitching in these minor league games down in Clearwater, like extended spring training games, just let me go pitch at AAA. And I think if I pitch well there, I can go sooner than later. That's how I see it. But I don't know. I'm interested to see where he slots into the rotation too.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see where they're going to find a way to get him in there. It's going to be a fascinating year on the pitching staff because you lost Ranger. Having Wheeler back, what Wheeler will you get? He thinks 27. Next year's it for him, essentially. So what will you get out of Wheeler? Does he just want to give it his all till his arm falls
27
off?
could be a shortened season.
Sure,
So maybe
and you don't know.
do get an extra 28 out of it.
Yeah, so you don't know what you'll get out of Wheeler throughout the season. And he just goes till his arm falls off? Because, you might have a lockout next year.
And there is some talk, too, that he would retire at the end of this deal, which, for him is coming up. I think he has 2 years left?
Yeah, next year. This year and next, I believe.
Yeah, so, if he sees the end coming, he might say, listen, just let me get out there and perform and do whatever I can do.
Or if they only play 100 games in 27, maybe you do get him back.
We also talked about Adolis Garcia as a guy who has he done anything yet today?
He has not.
I do not believe
He's
so.
up next. He's on deck at the moment.
Yeah, Adolis Garcia has been the one guy that they added to this team that I'm not sure that very many people are all that excited about Garcia, that signing.
I'm not. He's got to show me. He's 0 for 1 today. He's 0 for 1, Adolis Garcia. Now he's stepping up to the dish after a Stott strikeout.
Right.
Not even close.
No.
Blew it right by him.
So the thing with Adolis Garcia that I think is, he's a boomer bust. Can he hit 25 home runs? And what does that do to this team? If he comes in and hits 230 with 25 homers, I don't know what I think the Phillies' vision was, hey, let's take a shot with this guy. The one thing I think with Garcia, the one thing that I think Phillies fans have to keep in mind, the one thing he's known for is hitting in the postseason.
Sure. There is a faction of the fan base that thinks he's going to be great. I would caution them to say He'll be Castellanos-ish throughout the season at the dish, I would suppose. And then you got to hope for that guy to show up in the postseason. That
I tell you one
has
thing,
to happen.
I'm going to be checking the box score on Nick Castellanos just like Jared McCain. That's going to be me
come
every
on.
night.
That's bad
If you
comp.
thought Jared McCain was
That's
bad
a
with these
terrible
fans,
comp.
I'm checking Nick Castellanos every night.
Oh, that's a bad comp by cheap seats over there. No way. I don't care what he does out
You're not
there.
going to check up on Cassie?
Hell no. I didn't care less.
Really?
I already know what he's going to hit this year. I can already tell you.
What, 225?
207.
Wow.
It's a lot of strikeouts. How about that?
Well, I'll tell you, the drop-off from Cassie to Adolis Garcia, not a lot there, I don't think anyway. But I do think, put it this way, is there more upside in Garcia than there was Castellanos? I think that's what the Phillies said. Hey, we could get more upside from having Garcia. Maybe hits 25 homers, whereas we know Castellanos is pretty much what he is.
He just went down swinging, by the way, Garcia.
Yeah, Garcia did
Breaking
strike
ball.
out. Yep. Well,
Swing and a miss.
And I said, one thing with Garcia, I think he needs to get off to a good start so that he gets the energy from the fans. Like, he's got to turn into a fan favorite right away.
Yeah.
It's something that Kepler never really was able to do. Although, when Kepler became a little bit more of a fan favorite was
probably when he started doing PEDs.
Could be.
Yes.
He said something, though. It was, I remember I was in Portugal.
There was an article. I think we were out on location.
No. He said something about, man, this was after the whole, I thought I was going to play more. It was after a game one night.
Was it during the second half of the year?
Yeah,
right?
I was away. I was in Portugal, and I remember you guys sending me the
travel.
video, and I was like, I actually like what he had to say.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
And it was at that point that he kind of, took off a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a hit for Marsh.
And listen.
All right,
Is
two
that a
bags.
double? Yeah.
Brandon,
two
two
baggers.
bags. Yeah.
When it comes to those 1 year deal type of guys, the flyer guys that Dombrowski has signed throughout his tenure, not a lot of them panned out. Whit Merrifield, total disaster. Kepler, he came on a little bit towards the end, but he was a bit of a disappointment. And now you're hoping Adolis Garcia can be that guy. The track record just is not there for these 1 year flyer deals.
Nope, they have not. You're right about that. They have not signed a guy to a 1 year deal where you're like, man, they got to bring him back. None of them.
Like Howie Roseman has the touch on those 1 year deal guys, right? Like Patrick Robinson when they won in 2017. A guy came out of nowhere 1 year flyer. Like Zach Bond, 1 year flyer, turns into a star for you. So Dombrowski does not have that track record for the Phillies. They have been massive failures on those type of guys.
No, that's a good point. They have not gotten a guy. Now, he did trade for Bader, and I think there are people out there that wish they would have brought Bader back.
I being one of them.
But now you see their vision with Justin Crawford.
Yeah.
Right?
We're still hanging on to Marsh. He got a double.
Marsh had a good year.
He did.
He had a
when
horrible
he came
April.
Back, when he came back from injury,
Marsh
he had a good
already
year.
has one more hit than he did all of April last year.
They believe in Marsh.
Although it's
Total.
March. Yeah.
And they think Kemp's going to be able to platoon out there with him.
You'll probably see Kemp and Sosa on Sunday when Mackenzie Gore starts for Texas. By the way, they have chased Valdi's still in the game. So he is in the game. It's the fourth inning here for the Phillies. They lead 2-0. You got a runner on second, and Real Muto is at the plate.
I want to ask you guys this and throw this question out there to the audience as well. What's your expectation for JT right now? He's up to the plate. What is your expectation? He wasn't going to come back. They were going to sign Bo Bichette and let him walk. And then they signed him to the 3-year deal. He's going to be here for 3 more seasons.
Not thrilled.
Whatever he did last year, that's what he's going to do this year.
I was going to say, whatever he did last year, lower it by 10 points in his average, 2 home runs. I think everything just goes down.
Yeah. Like every year now, it's like, dude, you're dropping lower and lower in the lineup.
You could, at least they have him hitting 8th. At least they're not saying, hey, you're coming out and you're going to hit, and he struck out.
That was swing
and
and
at
a
least you're not starting the season with JT hitting in the middle of your lineup. You've at least now say, hey, you used to be one of our top guys, then middle, now you're at the bottom.
Sure.
So, all right, 609-403-0973 on the White Horse RV text board. I know a lot of people texting Philly stuff. Got text messages that they will add an outfielder at the deadline. I guess that remains to be seen. Last year, we almost were positive they were going to add an outfielder at the deadline. Who are they replacing in the outfield? Maybe Garcia. They gave Kepler the whole year last year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we thought for sure they were going to replace Kepler last year, and they never did. No. So I don't know. They're not going to, unless Justin Crawford is absolutely scuffling. But you better hope that's not.
I think they want to go with this outfield throughout the year, and they'll probably add pitching at the deadline. What has Nebraska done in the past?
They always do.
Continue to add pitching.
Yep.
All right. We will, we got about another.
It's almost giveaway time, is it not?
We got the giveaway that we're getting close to. So if anybody is getting down here, you're probably pretty much out of time to sign in. They got everybody's name who has signed in. We'll do one last call for that. And then right after our next break, we will announce who is going to Baltimore. Camden Yards. Now, when you go to Camden Yards, they got a lot of hot spots for you. Now, one guy said if he wins, he'd take me. Because I know all the hot spots down in Baltimore. Isabella's Pizza, Little Max's Tap House.
I went a couple years back to the Baltimore Orioles and Phillies game.
Ministry of Brewing.
There you go.
It's an old church that they turned into a brewery.
Wow.
Yeah. You go to the church, and instead of the altar, they got vats.
That's right up your alley.
That is a Mike Gill.
That is Mike Gill's specialty
spot.
right
All right, coming back. What do we got? What are you calling this today?
Buy or sell over-unders.
Buy or sell over-unders.
Now, some of these are PG lines. Others are,
a cheap
Vegas.
seats line.
Yes, cheap seat Pete line. Yep.
All right, that's next. Stick around.
we have the perfect solution for sitting in traffic.
You come with me.
The Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, welcome back. Sports Bash live at the Anchorage in Summers Point. So, Nikki Earnshaw just got on the mic and gave everybody last call to sign in. Hopefully everybody who entered and is here is on that list. Don't leave right away, though. Make sure you stick around because we got tickets to see Guns N' Roses, Zach Brown Band, Bret Michaels. So we're going to give away the trip to Baltimore first. And then we'll give away these tickets for, kind of like honorable mentions.
Yep, a lot of people have signed in. I would want that grand prize of the Baltimore Orioles and Phillies game. That is awesome. Camden Yards
is awesome. The whole trip is awesome. You get the motor coach down there. They're going to feed you. It's a whole day. They take you down there early. I think the bus leaves around noon or 1 o'clock. So you get all day down in Baltimore, head over to Fells Point, maybe get a little Shasta or something at if you're you want to go to Max's Tap House. They got 250 beers on tap.
A lot of beers
over
on
there.
tap.
Yeah. Then you check out my favorite pizza spot, Isabella's. Then you go to the game. It's a little place across the street from Camden Yards. I forget what it's called. Oh, man. That's kind of like the happening spot before Orioles games down there. But check that all out, all right? All right, Pete's got his over-unders for the season, for the show, I mean.
All right, let's get rid of the Dodgers and the Mets, those questions first. Mets over-under for wins, 90.5. That's an official line. Now, they already have one.
Yeah,
Under.
I like I'm going to go under on that. I'm going under. Now, if you say you have the Phillies at 98 and you have the Mets at 90, actually, I'm going to go over 90.
You're going over?
Yeah, because I don't think the Phillies win the division by over 8 games.
Under. I think they get like 88, 87.
All right. Now the Dodgers over that's 102.5.
102. I mean, probably under. I mean, they didn't win that many games. They won like 93 games last year.
What was the over?
102.5.
Under.
You're going under.
Yeah.
Are you going to go over 100? Or just at 100?
I'm going to go at 100 or 99.
Justin Crawford makes it.
He's got a multi-hit game as a Phil on opening day, unlike Bryce.
That leads into my next question. Better rookie season. Better chance at the rookie year, however you want to frame it. Justin Crawford or Andrew Painter? Crawford obviously 2 hits already.
Yeah, I'm going to go Painter on this one, mainly because I think if a pitcher has a big year, it's a lot easier to win. They get a lot more attention than even if Crawford is great. He's not a power guy. He's more of a high average guy. So I don't think his power numbers would jump up. He might hit like maybe it's 290 with 3 home runs.
I'm going Crawford on this one. I'm going to totally disagree. I think Justin Crawford's got a really good year. He's going to make an act.
Gave him a good year. 290?
I said he's going to hit 300.
290 is not far off.
I know, but I think he's going to hit 300. I think he's going to have a better year than Andrew Painter does. I think there's growing pains with Andrew Painter throughout the year.
I mean, even if he hits 300. Which I
bold prediction.
Yeah, even if he hits 300, which I'm not discounting. I said 290. So if he hits 300, but only has like 2 or 3 home runs, which is probably what it's going to be. Probably about 2 or 3 home runs.
I don't even have power.
Right, but I'm saying to win the Rookie of the Year, I think the voters would say, this guy has 3 home runs.
I think he'll have a better shot than Painter. I think he'll just have more of an impact, especially being in the lineup every day over a pitcher.
Well, I would I would completely. Who's the favorite to win the award right now is Nolan McLean.
Right.
I understand. I'm saying over Painter. Just
no, you said over a pitcher.
Yeah, over a pitcher in Painter is what I meant.
Right, but said mostly pitchers. If you have a good rookie pitcher, they generally have the best chance to win it because pitchers can do things that stand out.
I know, but what I'm saying is Painter is not going to have a good enough year to be in the conversation. That's all.
All right, we'll do.
It's not right on him. You You guys are all wrong on painter. I don't understand. I'm confused as to how people don't think painter. I didn't say it was going to be schemes.
Level it. Like he's going to be around that type of. That's what you're thinking. Rookie of the year? Yeah, he's got to have a really good year.
Because of the injury, or
I think of the injury. Injury concerns me. The stuff is there.
Because before the injury, he was a top prospect.
That was last year.
He got injured.
And last year was the year that he struggled.
ERA over 6.
And last year was the year that he struggled.
And now he's in the majors. We think he's just going to have an ERA under 3, under 2. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. You think so. I don't.
Now, these guys will come back from Tommy John. I do admit they have command problems. But you can see he's still throwing 98 effortlessly. His stuff is still crisp. If he starts to command himself, there ain't no way that he
I want to be wrong. I just want to preface this. I want to be wrong.
I want those 98 wins. That's going to happen.
I want Josh Crawford to hit 350.
That's 98. That's 102 wins.
That's what he hit in minor leagues.
He was outstanding in
337.
He's around like 305.
Which, by the way, would win him the batting title.
Yeah.
So if he won the batting title, maybe he has a shot to win Rookie of the Year.
All right, moving on. We can get our calculators out for this one. Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber combined home runs. This is the PG line. I set it at over-under 79.5.
Schwarber, I'm going to put like the 47 to 48 range. Yeah. And then Harper.
I don't know if Harper gets to 30.
So that would be 78. That would be under.
No, I'll go over that number.
You go over
if I'm a little low on Schwarber. And then Harper's in the 25.
He was 27 last year, I believe.
Yeah, he had a down year last year. He missed a lot of games. He still hit 27.
So you're going to go over.
Yeah.
I think it's right around the same. I'm going to say under.
All right. Let's do. Now the All-Star game is in Philadelphia this year. Over under. Now this is a PG line. Over under 2.5 All-Star starters for the Phillies. 2.5. Do they get 3 starters in the All-Star game in Philly?
Yeah.
They get 3.
Slam the over. Slam the over.
Well, Schwarber's not always a gimme because of Ohtani.
Yeah, because of the DH situation.
There you go. That's the tricky spot right there. And Paul Skeens, he could wind up being the starter over Sanchez.
True.
Are you going to go Trey? Over like a Lindor.
Yeah. Harper.
You're going to go Harper.
Well, who's the manager? It's Dave Roberts?
Yeah.
He might be smart enough to say it's in Philly. Let me go with Sanchez.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's your 3.
There's your 3 then.
Trey, Bryce.
Well, I don't know that Bryce.
Sanchez.
I don't. Probably under.
I'll go over. I'll say 3 to get in.
Good question.
That's a good line.
Although, I guess an outside shot at Stott. Because second base is a weak position.
It is. But he's not playing every day either.
True.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's going to be in Philly, you make a good point about Roberts not pitching Ohtani there. Could get Sanchez.
Or he might say, hey, you know what? In your home ballpark, we'll give you the start.
Sure.
Or what about Rory Wheeler would be?
Yeah, Wheeler.
Wow. Yeah, what if Wheeler comes back and just hum it? He could be the guy.
Right.
All right, we'll do. Let's do. Will Adolis Garcia show up? Which one? 2023 or the other 2 years?
The other 2 years.
Meaning 2024, 2025.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not very bullish on Adolis Garcia either. I'm not really expecting much out of him. So I would say his last 2 years in Texas will be more indicative of what he is.
I think you're going to see some defensive runs saved. Some ground cover out there right field.
By the way, 2 on, 1 out for Bryce. So Schwarber, I think, just struck out.
He did.
1 out, runners on first, second.
Okay.
All right, next one here. At what point, if at all, will Jesus Luzardo be the Phillies' second best pitcher in the rotation this year?
Well, he is right now.
Yeah, start the year until Wheeler comes back.
Right. That's the caveat. Will he get there?
I don't think he holds on. I think Wheeler will come back and be fine.
Yeah, I think it's definitely Sanchez and Wheeler are your top two playoffs no matter what, whatever order you want to put them in. The battle will be Harper struck out against, swinging a pitch way over and out of the zone. Whether or not Nola, Luzardo, or Painter would start that third game. And I think it's probably a tough spot because Nola's not a guy that's sent to the bullpen. I don't know that you're sending Painter to the bullpen. And what if Painter has the year that I'm talking about?
Painter has the year you're talking about. He might be top
of the
line.
Yeah, I mean, fifth starter.
100 wins, top line starter. He might be better than Wheeler. He schemes ass. He's going to start an all-star game. That's Mike Gilton. I hope he's right. I just don't see it happen. I'm sorry. I just don't. I think he's going to be growing pains. I think down the line, yes, that's what you're going to get out of Painter. I hope you're dead right. And it's rookie year.
Listen, I'm just going off of young rookie pitchers who have come into the league with the type of expectations he has. Generally, they don't struggle. Did Paul Skeens struggle?
There's a home run. And this place goes crazy.
Three-run homer for Bomer. Bomer. Three-run homer.
In the 4-hole.
That's my next question, by the way. Alec Bohm. What kind of a year will Bomer have? A career year? Same year as what we've seen in the last several years? Or one of his worst years?
I'll tell you what, he's off to a damn good start.
Should have asked that question first. Start it.
Oh, man, he's off to a good start.
He's already got 3 ribbies and a bomb.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic. He got out of a bomb all year, Mike.
We played the audio yesterday from Ruben Amaro Jr., who said his bold prediction is Bohm is in the top 5 in MVP. Wow. And he gave these numbers. 300, 20 homers, 110 RBI. Here's what Ruben Amaro Jr. said.
Alec Bohm is going to be voted top 5 in NL MVP voting. Wow. I think he's going to hit 300. I think he's going to drive in 110 runs. I think he's going to have at least 20 to 25 home runs this season.
There you go.
I'll tell you what, it's off to a good start, to say the least.
That's right.
And you talked about it earlier. What happens if he actually achieves those numbers?
We've got.
Are we bringing him back?
I'd have to.
It would be so interesting if he puts himself in position to win top 5 MVP. People who hated Bohm want him gone, and then have to say, no, you got to bring him back. I would love to see that dynamic happen. It's like the Sixers right now.
Yeah.
You want to hate them, but then they do that, so then you come back.
Yeah.
What is he giving away right now?
He's giving away something. I don't know. The insert on the mic.
All right. What else you got?
I got one more. This is kind of a funny one. Over under 0.5 on Phillies players popped for PEDs.
That's a PG line. That's a PG
line right there. Josh, I know you like that.
That's a low.
That's real cheap right there. Oh my God.
Well, last year it happened. You could have said that
after the season.
Rojas is out.
Yeah, they didn't get popped during the season. Alvarado.
Alvarado.
Man.
Alvarado, by the way, he's another guy that we haven't talked enough about in terms of him being back. What Alvarado are you getting? Right?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question.
All right. Well, there you go. They're the over-unders, the PG over-unders for the season. What did he just give away? Oh, okay. I was like, did that guy just win the trip? By the way, there's a guy in here with an Orioles jersey.
I saw it right there.
He wants to win that trip to Baltimore. All right. So Phil's up 5-0. Nate Eovaldi chased for the game. A 2-run homer for Schwarber and a 3-run Bohm bomb. Starts the season off. A Schwarber bomb and a Bohm bomb. So Harper has some nerves saying they don't have enough protection. And then he strikes out a couple of times.
Got to move Harper down the line.
Yeah. 0 for 3 right now?
Here's a question.
That's a good. Is Harper locked into that 3-hole the entire year?
Is the top 4 in the lineup locked?
I think you'll see it switch. throughout the season.
But top four players interchangeable, or do we see another player emerge and move one of those guys out of that?
I don't think you're going to see anyone really emerge. Maybe a Stott if he gets knocked up a little bit. He gets moved out all over every single year.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I know that Turner, Schwarber. There's a base hit for Bryce Stott, by the way. Turner, Schwarber, Harper. Those three are pretty locked in, you would think. That would be a big change.
Yeah.
Got the lineup one day, and it was Schwarber, Turner, Harper, which we've seen a year. Whoa, what did he just win?
The heck is that? A big box.
Wow.
He's out of here.
That's a nice win. That's a nice win. What did he get there, Jen? What did he just win? He just won. What did he just win? That guy?
TV or something?
Oh man! Nice.
Walk
out a huge box.
Put that right in the car.
All right, 5-0 Phils. We'll get ready to wrap up the show. Coming up on the other side. Plus Nuggets is going to be giving away the trip to Baltimore. So we'll announce who that winner is. Plus we'll prize well. Stick around. All right, 5:49, getting ready to get out of here. Hey, congratulations to Kathy in Margate. Kathy in Margate is heading to see the Phillies play the Orioles in Baltimore at Camden Yards, July 31st. So make sure make sure she heads up down to the bus, and gets all that stuff. She's over there somewhere.
Earnshaw's like Bob Barker over here.
Yeah, Earnshaw was cracking the mic there. Yeah,
Great
he was
at
all
this
over
job.
the place.
He's game show host, man.
You enjoyed it.
Yes, very good.
Yeah, he just announced that
Now he's taking pictures, kissing babies.
Kathy in Margate was the winner of that, and then we just gave away a plethora of tickets. Guns N' Roses, Brett Michaels, Zach Brown Band. So congratulations to all the winners, and thanks to everybody who showed up and popped out here to watch the Phillies, who were up 5-0, by the way, here in the 6th inning. A 3-run homer by Alec Boehm and a 2-run homer by Kyle Schwarber. They are the differences in this game so far. By the way, Christopher Sanchez pitching a gem.
And Justin Crawford gets his first major league
2 hits.
hit. 2 hits, that's correct.
That's right.
Bryson Stott steals a base.
Yep. Now, we talked Skeens pitched today. He got pulled in the first inning.
Yep, he got
Logan
shoved.
Webb last night, he got hit around.
Yep.
I've got to imagine that those Cy Young numbers have got to be changing right now the way Christopher Sanchez
By the
is
minute.
pitching.
Now Yamamoto, he pitches today, or he's about to take the mound for the Dodgers, I assume.
Yeah, let's see. We looked at it earlier. Skeens is plus 260. By the way, Christopher Sanchez has passed Yamamoto in
There you
this
go.
game.
Now, Jacob Mizorowski, he had 11 strikeouts today. So
That's a big nugget right there.
Nuggets like Bob Barker, man. He did good.
Christopher Sanchez was plus 600 behind Yamamoto. He has passed Yamamoto.
Wow.
He is now plus 500, and Yamamoto's plus 550. This start on opening day has jumped the money for Sanchez into the number 2 spot in the Cy Young.
Skeens is going to be falling, man, after that 67.50. Jeez.
Crazy. So Kathy and Margate was the winner.
Kathy and Margate.
And was she excited?
She was out ecstatic,
really,
to say the least. Came up, gave me a big hug.
Wow.
Was taking pictures, kissing
babies,
whole nine.
shaking hands.
There you go. Kathy and Margate was the winner of the tickets to Baltimore Inner Harbor Phillies Orioles, Camden Yards, July 31st. Round trip transportation, 2 tickets, lower level seats. You're going to be sitting with all the Phillies fans between the left field line and the third base on the Phillies side of the field.
Yep.
So it'll be a whole Phillies trip that Kathy and Margate. Did you ask her who she's taking?
She doesn't know yet. I don't think she knows yet.
Not you.
Not me. Not going. That's right after my birthday. They play the Yankees prior to that series.
At Citizens Bank?
At CBP. Yep.
Oh, that'll be a good
little
series.
AL East action around that time.
Oh, wait, Sanchez is at, looks like 80, is it 85 pitches? So Jonathan Bolin.
He's got 9 Ks.
Yeah, almost double-digit Ks first
No
game.
earned runs, 9 Ks.
Jonathan Bolin is warming up for the Phillies. He would be making his Phillies debut today. He was the guy that they traded for in the trade that involved Matt Strahm. So, all right, that's it for us.
That's it. That's a wrap.
What a day. Good time today. I want to thank Mike and everybody here at the Anchorage, 823 Bay Avenue. We had a blast. It was the food was outstanding. We had a great time. We got a 5-0 Phillies lead. Sanchez with a strikeout to end the inning.
That'll be 10 strikeouts then.
Wow. I mean, did that number just go up again?
Oh, probably moved.
Let's see.
He gives you that fist pump as well.
It's plus 500.
Maybe you play that just like you played Tyrese Maxey for the MVP this year.
Yeah, I think I lost out on. I should cash out on that one, huh?
Yeah.
All right, tomorrow we're back on a Friday, happy hour Friday show. Thanks to the Anchorage, everybody. Stop out here. Make sure you stop in and tell them you had a great time. We had a great time. Thanks to them. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here on the Sports Bash.